I want to let you know I will be in Las Vegas this weekend, October 27th and 28th at Resorts World. We'll be excited to see you there. As well, dates in Norfolk, Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, Evansville, Indiana, Huntsville, Alabama, and Atlanta, Georgia. Those are all on sale now. TheoVon.com/TOUR. That's TheoVon.com/tour. Thank you for the support. Today's guest is a garbage man out of Staten Island. Recently voted one of America's top 70 islands. He is a man who spent 20 years in the gar business, and he knows it. He knows it, baby. He knows pails and bins, baby, pails and bins. He's done it all. He collected garbage in New York City and outside of the city. We're going to learn everything you want to know about it. Today's guest is garbage man, Mr. Wayne Owen.
Shine that light on me. I'll sit and tell you my stories. Shine on me, and I will find a song I will sing it.
Wayne Owen.
What's up, Theo? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, dude. So, you're a garbage man.
Correct.
Do you guys have a term that you guys use within the industry?
Well, we used to go with sanitation engineer.
Okay. Yeah.
That was our thing. It made you sound a little more like needed and wanted.
Yeah.
Compared to a garbage man.
Yeah, and I guess we'll find out, even through the course of this chat, if it's, where does it kind of land, I think, and that's one of the reasons, I just want to learn all about the industry. So you in what area were you in?
I started in Manhattan, grew up in Staten Island.
Okay.
Started in Manhattan. I did almost 2 years and then switched over to Staten Island and finished my career there.
Okay.
Did 18 years in Staten Island.
Damn, you did 18 years, bro. Thank you for your service, bro,
Yeah,
first of all. So how do you get into it? How does it even start? Like, is it a family thing? Like your father picks you, just like picks you up when you're young and fucking puts you in a recycling bin or something? Like, how does it's
rule of thumb in New York. Like, you take the city test.
Okay.
College don't work out, you fall back on a city job, sanitation, police, firemen.
So those are different city tests, so those are different options?
Yep, and different tests.
Okay, so a lot of people that don't go to college in New York, they'll fall back into that, and those are one of the options.
Correct.
So you take a different test. So you took a sanitation test?
Yes.
Wow.
And it was sad, but it was a joke.
Really?
Like one of the questions that I'll never forget. Never forget. How would you pick up this pile of dirt? And there was like a garbage truck. Like, you can't use that. And then there was like a shovel with a broom, which of course that's what you would use. Mm-hmm. And then just like a rake. Like, just craziness.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like, but people get these things wrong, man. You never.
Oh, yeah. You see somebody raking dirt all the time, and you usually yell a slur at them out the window if you're me. But, so you take the test. How many people go take the test? Do you take it at like a center? Is it like, it's not like, where do they do it? It's not like at MSG or something like that big of a thing, huh?
No, they use like public schools.
Okay.
Like anything that they have available.
Okay.
High schools, grammar school, whatever they have.
Okay, so you roll up like the night before. Do you get a lot of sleep? Do you like show up with like, are you kind of preparing for it? Or do you think it's going to be so easy?
Nah, yeah. They get you the book. Like, they have a book
to
book. Take the test.
Okay.
And like after the second page, you're like, all right, this is I can't read this book.
Oh, damn.
It's worse than when you went into reading the book. You're like, wait, what's going on? So yeah, my test, over 100,000 people signed up, but they did a lottery. So, and everybody has to pay the $30, $35, whatever it is.
When you sign up, you have to pay.
Yeah. You send your form in with the money. But my test, they only did it this one time. They only let 30,000 people take the test. So those other 70,000 didn't even get to take it.
Damn, but they still paid the money.
Their money.
Oh, damn, bro.
It's just like anything else.
Oh, yeah.
To get their money in. They'll get their money.
Wow, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So now you got 70,000 people who are pissed at the city, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you take the test, you're in there. You now, how long does it take to get your score?
Takes they give you a few months, I'd say.
What?
Yeah, a few months until you get your score. I mean, Theo, come on. If I wish I was trying to get the test to bring it here.
Yeah, really?
Like, it was a joke. And I was actually in there with high school friends. And they were all running out. I was the last dude in the test. Like, I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm not the smartest, guy in the world, but
Me neither.
I'm like, what is going on? So I rushed through the last 2 questions.
Yeah,
Guess which ones I got wrong?
those two.
That's it.
Wow.
So I got a 103 out of 105, almost a perfect score.
Oh, dang. Okay. So now are you looked at like you come in as a pretty high rank then? Like, are you like?
Yeah. So they give like veterans and stuff extra like credit, well deserved. And like I think my list I want to say was like 348.
Okay.
Out of the 30,000 or 15. I forget what the number was.
So you were in the top 400.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I was hired within a year.
Okay.
And
so you still are waiting a year to get hired.
Yeah.
And why is there no job positions? What is it? Is it a busy industry?
Yeah. Well, you got to wait till people retire.
Oh, okay.
They have a set number, and that's what they go by.
Okay. All right. So so somebody finally retires or something happens to them, and then now you get called in, right?
Yeah.
Where were you when you got the call?
I was probably just home doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
I've done that.
I was still working in Manhattan, doing I was a court runner for my cousin.
Okay.
So I was working.
Yeah.
But my mother said, "Listen, you could be retired in 20 years. You got to take it." I was 21.
Wow.
I wanted to, what 21-year-olds do.
Yeah,
Like-
nothing. Yeah, dude,
True.
it's great.
No, but you want to go out and party, and like that's where your life starts.
Right.
Like parties but I grew up in Staten Island where we were going to bars at 16, 17 years old.
Right. So you've
So I
been
already
doing
did
it.
all that.
Yeah. And so did your mother say, look, I think this is something you should do?
Oh, no, she was like, "No, you're doing this."
Oh, wow.
But thankfully enough, because she saw the end of it.
Right.
She said, "Do you want to be working till, 60, 70, 80 years old? Is that really what you want?"
Yeah.
So there is the light at the end, but
You got an Andy Dufresne through
yeah,
it.
listen, it's better than any other job. I'll put it that way.
Wow. Okay. Well, I got to know more then, man. So, all right. So you get in, you're hired, you're excited. You get your first day. Like, how does that really go? And do you go to like a training camp or whatever? Do you guys?
Yeah, they send you for the driving training,
Okay.
and they teach you on dump trucks.
Okay.
So that's like 2-3 weeks. That you do your road test, you get your CDL, your license to drive the trucks.
Okay.
Now, then like 2 days they'll bring out, and this was in Randall's Island.
Okay.
And I think they did 2 days. They bring a garbage truck out there.
Okay.
There's 2 steering wheels.
There's 2 steering wheels in the truck?
There's 2 steering wheels.
And you
left
got to
and right.
like pick which one you would use? No, huh?
Well, no, it all depended on what street you were on. Like if you were picking the right side of the street up, you could drive from the right so you're close.
Wow.
So you can know, because that's the biggest thing on the job. You got to put that thing where your partner wants it to make the day go easier.
Okay.
If I got to start dragging garbage around cars and everything else, now we're not having a good day.
And then when you get back in the truck, there's beef when you're in the cabin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There were a few guys and they're good friends of mine.
Yeah.
I would let them know.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
beautiful. Oh yeah, we need that. That's what we need to see is like instead of cash cab, we need to see
Ooh, yeah, that would be.
oh yeah, sanitation cab violence, bro.
Yeah, there were some bad ones.
Yeah. That's beautiful, bro.
No, well, years ago when I first got on, they used to have like a one bench like across the truck.
Okay.
They got rid of those. So it was just a left side and a right side.
Okay.
You mostly drive from the left in Manhattan.
Okay.
Driving from the right that was frowned upon. It just because everything is different from
Yeah.
driving on the right side. It's a whole different driving situation.
Oh yeah. Every now and then you meet some fella trying to drive from the right. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I ain't saying nothing, but
But in Staten Island, it was
Yeah.
like a law. Like you had to drive from the right.
okay, so there's certain places where you got to get over to the. So in that instance, you would just get over to the other side of the car, and for that length of the.
The truck, yeah, there's like a
Other
little
route?
button you hit.
Okay.
And it just switches now you drive from that side.
Wow. Do today's trucks still have that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, cool. I didn't know that, man. That's real interesting. Because, yeah, dude, one time I had to take a driver's ed or whatever, and they had the dude over there, And this, I think the car I was in was like it was a Toyota Tercel, bro. And the trunk was missing, I remember, in the dude's car. So there was this total wind current, like constantly, just happening in the vehicle, you know? And so, yeah, and I remember driving that just out of sheer fear, like this guy's out of his fucking mind, you know? And he'd pop the brake and kind of smile at me and shit. I'm like, this dude's fucking flirting with me, bro. I'm trying to learn, you know, and this dude's trying to, you know, touch a child or whatever. All right, so you get the first day, man. How does your first day on the job go?
They literally, my garage, they tell you, hey, show up on this time, 6 a.m., West Side, 30th Avenue. You know, Manhattan 6 was my first garage. So I'm like, all right, over near Javits Center.
Okay.
All right, so it's right a block down from there.
Okay, so you get down there. Do you go down there a lot or no?
No.
Okay.
I when you work in Manhattan, you want to stay out of Manhattan.
Okay.
You deal with it all week. You deal with nonsense.
Yeah.
Anytime I worked in Manhattan, I just never wanted to party in Manhattan.
Yeah,
I
100%.
couldn't stand it.
All right, so you get down there.
Yeah, so I get there, and you know, you're meeting all these guys.
Yeah.
I met a few when I signed up. The new guys, we came in with I think like 11 new guys.
Wow.
So I knew them by face. I didn't really get to know anybody.
Oh yeah, I just watched Band of Brothers. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
No, and you're meeting, like, you know, there's some old timers on there that don't like the new kids coming in.
Really, huh?
Yeah, they got like, you know, they're grumbling, these, you know, junior scum guys. You know,
These
this and
fucking scabs or whatever.
that. So they're like, all right, here, they handed me a piece of paper. And they said, go pick this guy up on 2nd and 20th. So we had these sections all around Manhattan where guys would go because the garage wasn't big where I was at.
Okay.
So you would have section guys show up there, garage guys show up at the garage that I was at.
Okay.
And I'm like, wait. I had to like think to myself, like, I'm going to drive this garbage truck. Never drove in a city street where we were driving up Randall's Island. We were going in a circle. Okay. So now you're putting cars, people.
So you're in the
cabs.
truck downtown.
Yeah. And now they're like, oh, go pick up this partner.
Dang, bro.
I never drove a truck in Manhattan, let alone you've probably driven a car or been in a car in Manhattan. It's not fun.
Oh, it's alarming.
It's crazy.
And so now you're driving the truck, and Jesus Christ. That's scary.
Your first day, you know, your whole thing is the mirrors.
Yeah.
You know, worrying about you. It's a truck. You know, it's not a car.
Yeah.
I got there.
Okay.
And let's put it that way.
All right. We'll say
that.
that.
I was all right. No, I didn't hit nobody. No hurt nobody. And I picked this dude up.
Okay.
You know, probably 35 years on the job.
Oh, he's been in there, huh?
Scraggly looking guy, big beard.
Yeah.
Come on, kid, you're with me. I'm like, here we go.
Oh, come on, kid, he calls you, huh?
Yeah, so you know what you're falling into there.
Right, he's suddenly setting the stone, you know.
Yeah, he might have been one of the drivers guys where you were at.
He might have
the
been one of them lurkers.
The way he said it kind of scared me, you know.
I bet if you pluck a hair out of his beard and test it for 9-year-olds, who knows what'll come back, you know? But yeah.
Bing. But yeah, dude. And everybody's like looking at you.
Wow.
Because it's like you got stuck with this guy.
Oh, really, huh?
So that's right away. I'm like, oh, man. All right. And like rule of thumb, first thing they teach you is do not stand behind the truck while the back of the truck is cycling.
Okay.
This dude was looking for everything in the truck.
Really?
Dude, he had all kinds of shit in his beard. Oh, it was nasty. And he didn't even care. Like, it was just... Like, it was awful.
He was just back there just freaking catching that high tide.
It was just all flying out. He's, hey, you looking for, like, and looking at me like I'm not in there with him. Like, I'm just throwing it in to get rid of it, dude. I'm not here to dig through it. Pulling out like Spider-Man figures, like, you know, like crazy shit.
Oh, yeah. And that would go right in line with one of those kids.
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly. Driver's ed teacher. He definitely. That was his first job.
So he's just back there just collecting samples from the area, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, and now when he gets back in the truck, like, what's the inside of the cab? Does it smell pretty bad in there?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
You know, until you get your own truck, like I had, you know, once I got a truck where you get time on the job, you get a route. Like, dude, there's cleaning supplies. Like, we wiped our truck down every day. It was spotless in it.
Right.
But when you had guys that just didn't give a crap, you know, it was filth, man.
Oh.
You know.
And what kind of gear are you wearing? What kind of gear is a New York City garbage man sanitation engineer. What type of gear are y'all locked in?
Just regular, Dickie pants with a t-shirt,
Jesus.
winter
Christ.
sweatshirts,
Not a wetsuit or nothing like that. huh?
No, there were days you needed it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was, when it rained, it sucked.
Oh. Yeah, I would think you would go full plastic, like.
Well, gloves and boots were like number one.
Yeah.
That was always like, that's where you spent your money.
Okay.
Your pants, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You go wash those.
Oh. Okay, so now you got this kind of guy rolling with you, and how long does that shift go?
I was out there for a while that first day.
Really?
Because he's digging. He's looking for, treasures.
Oh, this
like I
dude,
said.
really? So he's a real
It
hunter.
was a 5, 6, 7 hour, route. Where normally routes take about 2 hours.
Okay, wow, really?
Yeah.
So this guy's just out there, and he just likes to collect. Now, are some of these men just really collectors, and they kind of hide, masquerading as sanitation workers?
They do that, or some of these guys get the stuff and sell it. Wow. They have businesses, man.
Really?
Yeah, they go to flea markets and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea, man.
Oh.
One dude in Staten Island, I'd hate to even give him the shout out because he's a douchebag. But anyway.
Yeah, fuck him. But yeah, tell me.
Dude, it was like Sanford and Son
Yeah.
on his roof leaving the garage some days. Like he'd take, furniture, this, that, everything. Yeah. And you would catch him at the flea market. But dude, listen, from what was told, he had over $1 million from what he collected and sold in a bank account.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Wow. So you worked in Manhattan and you worked in
Staten Island.
Yeah. You can sit this out here too if it's easy.
Totally different.
Okay.
Totally different setup. So Manhattan, like the buildings, it's all buildings.
Right.
House to house, we used to call it. So you would go like pale to pale to pale. That's maybe on like 10 blocks, like where I was at. But you get like one building on the corner of just say 2nd and 42nd. I mean, there's 2,000 bags out there.
Wow.
And we used to call them sausage bags.
Okay.
So they have compactors in the buildings that literally compact these things. And then the guys knot the ends. And they're, anywhere from 3 feet to, 4 or 5 feet long.
Oh, yeah. It's like somebody making,
Sausage rings.
yeah.
And
Them
they were
sausage
not
bags?
light. And they were not light.
Really? So you got that long dog, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And could somebody have put a body in one, you think?
Oh, yeah. You could have put a body in any one of them. I ain't looking.
Yeah.
That other dude is, I'm not. I could give a damn.
Yeah, that dude fucking
I would tell
selling-
people all the time, the minute you want to do that, just put it in a bag.
Yeah.
I ain't looking.
Oh, that dude's selling femurs on Etsy.
Exactly.
Yep.
Half
That
price.
dude's out there. Yeah.
Yep.
That dude's out there fucking slinging shin bones on, fucking, on eBay.
But it's
Damn,
the
so
truth.
somebody could put a body in one of those bags,
never
zip it
know.
out to the garbage guy.
You never know.
These days, everybody's watching you. You Google something, you get an ad for it. You whisper something to your cousin, and next thing you know, you're getting advertisements for Tootsie Rolls or something. We're all being monitored, it feels like. That's why you need a VPN. With ExpressVPN, 100% of your traffic is rerouted through their encrypted servers, so no one can see a thing. You can search for whatever you want. You want to geo-track a Wolverine or a woman across town, or a man. If you love a man, you can do it, and nobody will know. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, whether you browse the internet on your phone, tablet, computer. You can use up to 5 devices at the same time under one ExpressVPN subscription. So stop letting people invade your privacy right now. Get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free when you go to expressvpn.com/Theo. That's expressvpn.com/THEO. expressvpn.com/Theo to learn more. You don't know you're a bad cook until you know it. I remember one time I heated up a can of pears, and it got so hot I couldn't even get in the can. I burned both of my hands, the front and the back of my hands. But you got to have good cookware as well. And that's what I'm here to tell you about today is HexClad. That's right. No longer using your roommate's dishes, guys. HexClad has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of nonstick. The versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and they are so durable. Gosh. I mean, you could do a ribeye in it. You could do a you could make a wedding cake in it. And they last a lifetime. They will outlast you. They will be in your will. We're serious. They have a lifetime warranty just in case you find a way to destroy them while you're making your ramen noodles for some stranger you met on social media. Gordon Ramsay might be the toughest critic in the world, and these are the pots and pans that he uses at home and in his Michelin star restaurants. Hexclad. Support our show and check them out at hexclad.com/Theo. That's at HEXCLAD/THEO. Listeners get 10% off their order by going to that link. Just go to hexclad.com/Theo. So a way to get, if you decided to decease somebody or kill somebody, I don't like to use that term, but make somebody be dead immediately in front of you. Let's say that. In New York City, you could put them into the chute in your building, the trash chute.
Well, I wouldn't do that. Like, that's a little much. But if you had, access to the compactor,
okay,
then I think it's different. But if you're going to shoot a dude 13 flights down, I mean, somebody's about to hear, there's got to be some blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
going
somebody's
down.
going to hear a wristwatch hitting the walls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's watch is going to connect and something's going to ping in, and you know how that goes.
Right. So if you could get the body down to the compactor, there's a chance it could just be thrown out in one of those sausage bags.
Gone.
Wow.
Yeah, and we used to do, you would have cars parked so tight. And there's 30, just say in a smaller stop, there's 15, 20, 30 bags.
Wow.
Dude, I'd be like, oh, sad day for this Jaguar owner. I would literally, because I would tell you, I was 21. I was stupid.
Oh, yeah.
I would grab them both sides, slide them right across the hood.
The Jaguar?
Oh, whatever
fuck
car
rich
was there.
people, dude.
Yeah, whatever car was there.
Bruh. There was nothing better than doing something to the fucking rich, boy.
Well, they just didn't care.
Oh, yeah.
They had no respect for me, so now it's like, all right.
Because they parked illegally.
No, they're parked legally, but they give you no space. So now those bags, they're heavy, and I get it. Everybody would say, well, we don't know. We're not garbage men.
Right.
Well, now you're going to know.
Yeah, now you
Now you
got
got to go to the body shop,
Yeah.
fix your shit on your dime.
Yeah, dude. I remember when I used to go over to rich people's houses, my buddy Jeff would steal. He had a whole collection of silverware. And we were poor. So it was like everybody was rich. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We knew people, if you had a fucking front door, bro, you had a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So like Jeff has silverware from everybody, dude. And then if I went over to rich people's houses, a lot of times I would pick my nose when they weren't looking and feed a fucking booger to their dog. Just to fucking stay
What'd
in
you
the
get out of
building
that?
a little.
What was the thought process of getting out of that?
I think for me it was something like start from the bottom, like you convince these animals to fucking work for you low key. You know what I'm saying? It was like they may think they're doing all this and all of that, but who's fucking feeding these animals?
Hey, they just ate your booger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
bro.
I get it. I mean,
it was like I'm taking things to the lowest. It's like I'm just like, I don't know. It was probably like some Lord of the Flies shit or whatever.
yeah.
So you got the big sausage bags in the city, right?
Yeah, and the city is just
it's hell.
It's multiplied crazy. Like there were times where you knew that, like if their compactors were broke, like it was awful, man.
Really?
Because now they put out, so they could probably fit, I'd say a normal 4 or 5 bags of garbage in one of these sausage bags. But now the compactor broke, so now they got to put regular just bags out. Mm-hmm. So it just went from 10 to 15 sausage bags to 150 regular garbage bags. Oh. And it's one at a time, just chucking them over the cars and like.
And now do you throw them to a buddy and he puts them in, or
yeah.
do you? That's the goal.
In the city, you're pretty much just working together the whole time.
Okay.
When you go to Staten Island, it's like half hour on, half hour off.
Okay.
So I'll drive for a half hour, you load for a half hour. Vice versa, back and forth till the route's done.
Okay.
But in Manhattan, it's like, all hands on deck because those bags are kind of heavy sometimes.
It reminds me a little like watching that show. It's like an ocean show. You know what I'm talking about? It's like an ocean show. And they're angry. And every year one of them dies and they put it on like TMZ. But they are looking for carpers. They're looking for fish or something, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. Here's a
Doesn't
video
ring a
right
bell.
here of some sanitation guys right here throwing garbage bags into.
Yep.
Oh wow, that dude, huh?
Oh, I was awesome at that.
Were you really?
Oh, dude.
Bro, that dude. Wow.
Uh-huh. That's a private guy.
That's Buddy Healed right there.
Yep. That's a private guy.
Oh, that's a private guy. It's not one of your boys.
Yeah.
So how can you tell
I did that for a
immediately?
year. The truck. All trucks were white.
Okay.
The white elephant. That's what they called it. And the white elephant always got in people's way.
Really?
Pissed them off.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the worst, dude.
I used to do the Hulk Hogan real quick.
Yeah?
I used to do that. I used to take my gloves off and they would bang, in Manhattan. And I'd be like, you're an asshole. I'm like, you should have woke up 10 minutes early. Because now you're stuck behind me and I ain't moving.
Well, the craziest thing about a sanitation truck is that not only you stuck, but it smells bad. So you're fucking like, hey.
And they used to get real close. And like I was saying, when the shit used to spray out, especially rainy days after a rainy day, or if it was raining, wet days, dude, that thing, and the cars would get covered. Wow. And I'd be like, oh, well,
That's the worst.
that's on you.
Dude, so that must have been kind of fun just throwing those bags. That seemed like
Yeah.
something a kid would love to do.
I just
dude.
throw them behind my back, just running down the street, in Staten Island because it's a lot lighter in Staten Island.
Right. So that was in Staten Island, but in the city, it's a little bit more. You got to have your dude there. You guys are loading this thing up. You're just
Yeah.
keeping it moving.
Yeah.
And in the city, how many bags can go, or those big sausage bags can go into the cycle? And what's the cycle like of the truck?
Well, you probably fit like 5, 6 of those bags in at a time, but
Okay.
your average in Manhattan was 10 to 13, 14 tons of garbage in per truck,
Per truck. So you start out with nothing in there.
empty.
Okay.
And there's a compactor in the middle, like in the truck, and then it just cycles and compacts it the whole time.
Okay.
And the rule of thumb, you got to get the route. So you have to get the whole route on the truck. So you would have to maneuver sometimes, squeeze a little more.
Really? Can you hear it getting tight back in there
Oh,
sometimes?
yeah. Like you could feel it. It changes the whole drive of the truck
Really?
from being empty to heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke one time with a female truck driver, and she had worked with, and her son, I think, had breast reduction surgery, but she had worked with a cement truck, right?
Yeah.
And she said sometimes when the mixer was full, she would drive, and when she stopped somewhere on the brakes, you'd feel the cement come up the back of it was just really interesting. So that kind of made me think of that.
Oh, it changes everything. Just, you think about it, you double everything because tons of 2,000 pounds. So 36,000. And then the truck is probably another 14. You're looking at, 35, 40,000 pounds. It ain't easy to stop.
Yeah, so you'd have to set you can feel that weight, huh? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's harder to stop, and the trucks were junk to begin with. I think New York got like all the secondhand trucks.
What?
They're like, oh, try this. Like Mack truck. Like, oh, yeah, try this. It's like, dude, it was crazy. Like, for me, it was terrible. I'm tall. I'm 6'5", so it's like just getting in the truck.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get so used to not hitting my knees on the dashboard. It was just not comfortable to sit in, so.
Damn.
But they didn't care. It was whatever they got a discount on, they took it.
Wow, yeah. Oh, that's everybody nowadays. They'll put you in they'll put you in a fucking baby stroller and make you put 6 bags on the baby, Doesn't
Whatever you
matter.
could fit.
They're cutting corners these
Whatever
days,
they could
bro.
fit. And 3 wheels, not 4, like crazy.
So how tight does that trash get in there? Can you see it building up? Like, does it build up some heat? Is it that
Yeah,
tight?
no, it gets, when you dump it, you'll see it's like a brick. Comes out, it'll start falling out here and there, but there's steam coming off of it. Methane gas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if you go out, Staten Island has the biggest landfill in the world. You could see it from space.
Oh, wow. That's
Staten
beautiful.
Island landfill. And they have constant pipes that are burning because of all the methane gas coming out of the ground.
That's fucking beautiful, man. God. It's almost like, like Greece or something when they do the Olympics or whatever and they light the torches.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is amazing, huh?
Yep. They stopped dumping it now. But that's back
Pussies.
in the
They should have kept dumping.
Yeah, they gave up. But it sucks, because I do know a lot of people that passed away in Staten Island from cancer, but like that, the cancer rate on Staten Island is awful.
Is it really?
That's why I had to get the hell out of there. It's
Wow. Yeah, I want to get into some of that. So, yeah, my friend Aaron, actually, he's part of a new company called Vespine, and what they do, this is pretty interesting. They take the methane gas at landfills and they burn it, and but they convert it immediately into electricity.
So usable, yeah, that works.
So now you have electricity that's right there available. So say if they had like trash trucks or something and that they were electric, then they could charge them up immediately, or they could use the energy. Like for a little bit, they were using it to mine Bitcoin when Bitcoin was popular, but now they're finding other places to use the energy. But it's just kind of fascinating, something that's going on. But I can't believe that log is hot, huh? Now, what do they call them? Bricks, logs? Because that's almost like a damn diamond of trash,
Yeah, it's, listen, when you dump, you just dump. You're not staring at it. You just go out and get out of there,
Yeah.
Because we used to dump now in Manhattan. We started dumping on the side of the turnpike in Jersey. And that guy burns it. But he's got $1 million like filters, so he's able to. The smoke coming out's clean.
Really? Ah, come on.
Dude's crazy money. Dude, you have no idea. They were charging $50-something per ton to the city. Plus, he signed like an $80 million contract with the city to take all the garbage. Because, who got to get paid off to have the trucks now on the turnpike, because they don't want that. And then he's selling the ash. Just money over money. There's so much money in garbage, dude, you have no idea.
Really?
It's a $1 billion business.
Damn.
Yeah.
And the mafia used to be involved in it, right? That's why they were in it.
Well, when you brought up bodies, like that's the one thing on Staten Island. Those are the myths, the tales.
They would
my
put
stepfather, God rest his soul, used to work out there. He was a tractor operator. And he said that cars used to come in, pimped out Lincolns, and they would just all turn around. And the car used to go up to the top of the hill, never see it again.
Wow.
Car just disappear, person disappear. They'd pull out, see you later, fellas. And that was it.
It's the devil's ocean, baby, the landfill.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there with that landfill.
Huh? I wish God would just tell us how many bodies are in that landfill. Sometimes I pray, sometimes that I wake up with a number in my head. Because there are.
Definitely.
Did you ever get a weird feeling or premonition like you're driving the truck home? Like, could there have been a body in there and you have no idea, or at some point whenever you're dumping it, you would have seen something?
Listen, you definitely think you could get a feeling. If somebody comes out and says something, you're like, ooh, maybe this dude just whacked somebody.
Right.
His wife ain't healthy right now. She's
Right.
probably in this bag.
Right. Like,
I'll throw it in.
oh, yeah.
But no, I never. I had one. These two guys came out of the house one day, hysterical crying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck happened? What now? And we were in that kind of neighborhood in Staten Island, and I'm like, all right, what's up? Our dog died. I'm like, oh.
Oh, my gosh,
So
yeah.
bring it to get cremated. Why are you telling me?
They trying to cut corners. A couple of gay dudes trying to cut corners.
Could we throw it in the truck? I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm a dog owner at the time. I'm a dog lover. Next thing you know, on the bed, dude, a yellow lab. This thing had to be 100 pounds.
Oh, and they both grabbed
Peeled
two
out.
legs?
They were crying. No, it was on the bed. They got rid of the bed. The toys, the shit was still lined up like he was just playing and then just dead. And they're like, okay, and just launched them into the back of the truck. I'm like, I told my partner, I'm like, dude, I can't cycle that up, man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck. So it's like, you would get the feeling if somebody was like, oh, yeah, can I throw this bag in? Like, where's your wife?
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear, I heard y'all fighting last week about garbage and,
And so what? Then you tell a guy, hey, you press the button. I ain't pressing it.
Yeah, I just, in that case, I was like, dude, I told my partner. And he didn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll sell its collar in an hour. Yeah,
exactly.
Give a fuck.
That bag usable?
Yeah.
Put that on Etsy. On Facebook Marketplace. Make $13. They'll sell anything on that shit.
Oh, yeah, dude. You could fucking sell your cousin on that bitch, boy. You know what I'm saying? If he can't read, if he's still teachable, you'll fucking, somebody will buy that bitch in an hour on there, bro. You fucking dude. You go on there and find your ex-wife on that bitch, boy.
Exactly.
You could buy used barrettes on there if you want them, bro.
Barrettes.
Yeah.
Wow, that brought my olden age back. Jeez.
Say, man, them barrettes, boy, back in the day, you see a girl with a couple barrettes in, or I think you know what girls used to wear when I was like in school? They would wear headbands. Remember that?
No, my sisters were big in the scrunchies.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, they were all over the goddamn place, tangled up with hair,
Oh.
all kinds of nasty. I grew up with 3 sisters, so
Oh really?
yeah, man. I was the only boy.
Damn.
So, three sisters. You know, I've been through it.
Wow. Yeah. Damn. And did you did any of them, were they okay when you got into the sanitation game? What'd they say?
Oh, my sister April was pissed
Really?
because she filled out the shit and sent it in,
Uh-uh.
and she didn't get picked to take the test.
God.
She was pissed.
Oh.
Still to this day, she reminds me, I got you that job.
Wow.
I said, well, I took that test. That shit was hard as hell. You didn't take it for me?
She went and took it and didn't pass it?
No. She didn't get called. Remember I said,
Oh, she didn't get the
only
lottery.
15, 20,000 people took it. Wow. She didn't get picked to take it.
It's crazy that even at the that there's a lottery to there's lotteries at every end of the spectrum
Everywhere.
of life, man.
Yep.
So what season of the year is the worst time of the year for trash, man?
But definitely the winters. The winters were awful.
Okay.
Like the summers were hot, but like once you got used to that smell, like even nowadays, like I'll never be able to smell how awful it is because you're just used to it.
Yeah.
Like it's like second nature.
Yeah.
The maggot smell and just all that nastiness. It's just part of it. The winters were grueling, man.
Really? And that's because of the cold, huh?
Just the cold, the ice, if it snowed, you're stepping over all that shit. You still got to pick the garbage up. Now you're working 12-hour days with, if it snows, you're constantly driving around a truck all day. It's grueling.
And were you a lot of cleats and stuff? What would you wear for shoe wear?
And just boots.
Wow.
Yeah. So you had rain boots, you had, junk boots because I always wore like a hiking boot because I can move faster.
Yeah.
When you're wearing like heavy boots, like they always said, don't wear steel toes because, God forbid something hit you on the foot, it'll snap your toes off.
Mm.
So I don't
Oh,
want
the
to see
steel
that.
would actually snap your toes off.
Yeah.
So that's the downside of wearing steel toe boots.
If you're in an industry like that, yeah. Because there are some cans. I mean, I don't think back in the day there used to be metal cans. They used to pick up ash in New York City. So everybody would burn that garbage in the buildings and they would have these like 150-pound steel garbage cans. And I had lifted a few of them in my time. They're no joke, man.
Wow.
Loaded with ash. So that's what they used to just dump.
So the buildings would just burn their garbage.
All the housing buildings, they used to just get rid of the garbage that way. There was no bags on the street.
So they had an incinerator in there. They
Yep.
would burn it up.
Every building in New York had a incinerator.
Wow.
Yep.
And when did that change code? Do you know?
I don't know. One of these people came up with something that it was killing everybody. So,
Oh, probably some monopoly, some bullshit. One of Trump or Chris Christie's fat buddies, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were
On
probably
the take. Can you look that up when that changed?
Yeah, they were probably, killing the polar bears or something.
Oh, yeah, somebody
Igloos were melting somewhere. In
Yeah,
this
they got
country.
some grainy video of a fucking rare fox doing 2 lines of fucking city ash, and they're like, we can't fucking do this shit no more.
With a sign. Stop burning your garbage.
Yeah.
Save
Like,
me.
Yeah, how did that fox even learn to write, bro? Nobody
Exactly.
asks any questions on this bullshit anymore. Here it is. In 1989, Mayor Ed Koch. Wait, you know who else talked about Ed Koch? I think was Bobby Kennedy Jr. when he was on talked about Ed Koch. Mayor Ed Koch signed a bill that required incinerators in New York City to shut down within 4 years. And lo and behold, all incinerators had stopped operations by the end of 1993. And that was the end of that. No more trash burning.
Yeah.
Huh. Does it say why? Why? Anything else?
Pollution.
Oh, the pollution.
Yeah.
Oh, the air pollution.
Yeah, they were just burning.
Right.
Like that was if you were burning it in your fireplace.
Yeah.
They didn't have, like I was telling you in Jersey, this guy has a multi-million-dollar, filter and no more emissions, blah, blah, blah. They didn't have that back then.
Oh, I see. So every building was burning. But weren't the trash men just picking it up and taking it somewhere to burn it?
No, then it was just ash. So they were just getting rid of it. I don't know what they did with it back then.
But I mean, after the trash men, after they shut down the incinerators, the trash men just took it. Oh, they just put it in a landfill.
Yeah.
So they weren't burning it.
No. So then that's when there's a few landfills. There was one in Brooklyn. I think they were like all over New York. But Staten Island, oh yeah, we're just going to do this for a few years. And then it turned into the biggest landfill like known to man.
Wow. And yeah, what do you say to people who like, because a lot of landfills have been filled over with dirt and people buy houses on them, right? What do you say to the people who, you buy a house and then 4 years later everything, everything you eat tastes like fucking Fig Newtons and fucking baby gravy or something, and your son's got fucking facial hair at 4,
Yeah, that's probably what's going on. They're actually Staten Island, they're making it into a park. Yeah. And I mean, dude, yeah, I've seen animals out there. Some wicked shit.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, dude, there's this gopher or whatever the fuck it was. Dude, it looked like a full-blown pit bull. That's how big this fucking thing was. I swear I saw a bear out there. Everybody told me I was crazy. But because there was a ton of deer, like the deer swim from Jersey. They were coming in.
Why they hate it over there?
Nah, it's just like anywhere else. They're building and they're pushing them out of their homes. So now they see this big forest across and the rivers, whatever the hell it is. It's not a river, but there's a short little spurt from Jersey to Staten Island in one location, and they just swim over, and they got a whole shit, and nobody could shoot them.
Yeah,
you can't
shoot that close to the city, huh?
You just can't hunt on Staten Island.
What is there like a habitat on the landfills? Is there like animalia that's out there living? What is that like? It almost seems like, because it's almost its whole own like Narnia, like a fucking dirt, like a fucking.
Oh, definitely.
Trash Narnia.
You see mutant stuff out there.
Really?
Yeah. Rats look like cats.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was like a gopher that looked like a pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
And you got deer running through that place nuts. Like big
really?
boys, and nobody can hunt them.
Oh, you can't hunt them?
No.
Dude, deer people are crazy. Deer people, I'm surprised nobody jumps the fence and gets out there,
They try.
Really?
Yeah, they've tried, but they have little security here and there. Guy killed a big buck once, and he actually got fired.
Oh,
he was a mechanic. Yeah, he was a mechanic for the city and got fired.
He was out there hunting on the landfill?
Yeah, he killed it, and then everybody saw it because you can't hunt it. So you're seeing this buck walked around like it was his area.
Oh yeah.
He would be out in the middle of the day just walking the streets.
Oh,
he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He was gangster. But now they also put a guy, on the hill to like keep the population down.
Oh wait, so there's a person that works on the landfill?
Yeah, they pay a guy who sleeps in a tent on the landfill that, takes care of the deer population.
Damn, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep. Snips,
Sorry,
tucks, cuts, all kinds of things.
He
they dart the
does
deer.
you read what's it called? Neutralizes them? No.
Well, it's vasectomies.
Vasectomies?
And all kinds of.
So they're doing animal vasectomy out there on the landfill.
Anything to keep the
wow.
population down.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, and he sits out there in the cold.
And what does he do? He
darts them.
And they fall asleep.
Yep.
Then he slips over.
Snips, tucks.
Damn,
And then it's a wrap.
Gosh.
Yep. But some get through sometimes.
That fucking nut Grinch, he just rolls up on him, huh? That's fucking unreal, bro.
Yeah, man. Dude's sniping deer out in the middle of the landfill and shit. But that's what they do.
God.
Because like you said, they would just run wild.
That fucking sperm Dexter, that dude's out there fucking clipping bucks.
He's probably selling it too.
Oh yeah, oh dude, yeah. Oh, deer semen, dude. I'll fucking get rid of a quart within 40 feet of my home here.
Oh,
in
damn.
Tennessee, anybody will buy that shit.
Oh, damn.
Wow, bro, that's incredible. I didn't know that was a job. Somebody lives in a tent on a landfill.
Yep.
And euthanize or sedates and then vasectomies
Yeah.
deer.
They have to keep the population down. That's what they do.
Bears are moving across New York. It says right here, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation is urging residents to secure food sources that might attract bears as bear sightings increase due to the animal's search for high-calorie meals after winter hibernation. Wow.
Yeah, people. I just went to dinner with a couple friends of ours, me and my wife, and she's gonna kill me that I'm saying this, and the wife's like, "Wait, they don't wait for off-peak hours and come over the bridge?" I'm like, you can't be serious to think deer are running over a bridge, like to get there. Like, no. You know, they see the forest. They're getting kicked out of their land, and
Yeah.
they see it, so they swim over there.
Yeah, well, we had a guy. This guy was a medium-sized animal detective. He was on, and he had he said that a lot of times like animals will just get into your house because they don't know it's your house. They just their nature is getting destroyed, and so then they just go to like whatever seems like a place that's safe, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's people's attic, you know, because a lot of people was finding raccoons in their attic.
Yep.
In a lot of urban areas. But what else, dude? Okay, so there's methane coming off of that trash block already when the compressors compress it that much?
Yeah, there's definitely a light smoke coming off of it.
If you threw a match in there, would it be flammable maybe?
Listen, I wasn't trying that. You know, to me, like I said, we get done 2 hours. I could be done back at the garage, hanging out, you know, shower, done if I get covered with any junk and be done. I'm not paying attention to what comes out of the truck at that point.
Is there, how big is that block that comes out of the truck? Like, show me with your hand. Like, how big is that block? Do you know?
What, out of the garbage truck?
Yeah, the one that gets compressed after it's full and it compresses it up.
Full garbage truck.
A full garbage truck.
Oh, it's, you know, like I said, you had 10 tons. I want to say the truck was 14 feet by maybe 8-9 feet tall by the width of a garbage truck, 12. The thing's the size of this room.
The block
like
of garbage?
That's how big the garbage is. You know, when I went to Staten Island, I was doing 6 tons. And that's like a totally different situation. That's like more just fluffs out. But when you're in Manhattan, you're packing and packing and packing to get that route.
Yeah.
That just like, you know.
Does it just come out as like a big, do you get to see the brick at the end?
Yeah, no, it's not like a brick where like it's going to come out as an actual brick and they pick it up and just like build a house with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just falling apart like as it's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now they ship out the garbage from New York. They ship it to like Pennsylvania. They use it for landfill.
Okay.
Like you had said, like they fill the swamps and stuff, and then they build on it 10 years later.
Wow.
And then the son has a beard at 3.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, when your son's a fucking mall Santa at 5 years old.
Exactly.
You got to want
But they don't care.
Nuh-uh.
You know,
people
they're
don't
making
care
money.
anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the issues. They say that a lot of people that's having autism, retardation, right? Retardation. People, I try to say it differently because some people get offended, but retardation, all kind of stuff like that, like brain problems for children, is because our water and food supply is so contaminated. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
It makes sense.
But they're not gonna. You know how they are. They're not gonna test it if somebody's making money off of it.
Fuck
You know,
no. Not these
they're-
days.
They're making money off of all those unfortunate cases.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's
it's
Chuck
like,
Schumer right there making
why
that
throw
fucking
that
money.
off?
Yeah.
You know,
Is there joy happening around the holidays, though? Is that an exciting time to be out and about? Like, because you get to at least be in this, like, there's a romanticization of people being in New York City around the holidays, right? And I know you guys, your route ran early there. What time did your route run?
yeah, we started at 6 a.m.
Okay, so you started at 6 a.m. So, but was it still fun to be in the holidays around that time, even though it was so cold, or it's just the worst time because it's winter?
Yeah, no, it was still good times. You know, just a lot more people on the street. Even in those early days, you know, everybody's now coming in. You know, people want to see New York City.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but to me, it's just a shithole. But
Yeah.
you know, that's New York for you.
Oh, yeah. People will come to stare at a shithole, you know? I
it.
mean, shit, they got porn sites that's based on it. How long would it take you, those routes in the city? How long does that take? How long does a trash route in the city take a garbage man?
It all depended on the day, the route. You know, your average was 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But by the time you got out there, you know, you start at 6. By the time you get to the route, because now we were on the west side, we picked up on the east side. So you get out there like 6:30, 6:45, start the route.
Right.
Now you got to drive to Jersey to dump it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
by the time you get back to the garage, you're running, hustling to be able to sit down, you know, eat lunch for, you know, hour and a half, and then you go home.
Okay.
Like it's not worth it now that I look at it. I killed my body for no reason.
So you get there at 6, you probably leave for work around 5 or something?
Yeah, I was getting up 5 o'clock.
Okay, getting
You
up
know.
at 5, out the door by 5:20.
Yeah,
get
you
to
had to
work at
rush
6.
because Staten Island was a nightmare trying to get off it. there's only the one bridge to get, the Verrazano through Brooklyn to get into Manhattan.
Okay.
The traffic was awful. So if you weren't I used to meet a few guys at 5 o'clock at the bridge.
Okay.
If you weren't there at 5, you weren't getting there by 6.
Maybe y'all take a ferry or drive?
Drive.
Okay, bet. Okay, so you get that done. So you can get it done in a couple of hours, right? And you still get paid. You get paid for an 8-hour day?
Yeah, you get paid the 8 hours.
So there was some like cool value in getting it done quick.
Yeah.
Were you guys racing ever? Was it fun?
Exactly. We it was always a competition.
Oh, that's
who could
fun.
get done faster. But like I said, I look back now, after having back surgery, 2 shoulder surgeries, a knee surgery,
Really?
Yeah. You look at it, you just beat yourself up. And for what?
And does the city pay for those surgeries?
Yeah, I was on their time. So I did both shoulders and my knee on the job. And then a year after I retired, I just had back surgery 2 years in June. It was 2 years.
Wow. Would you have disc replacement?
No, they went in, I had discectomy.
Discectomy, L5S1?
Oh, I don't even know.
Wow.
LMNOP, that I call it, because it's just
fucking pulling shit out of your back.
I have 5 of them, and they cut out 3. But my disc was still okay, so they kept them.
Dude, you'll be a midget wrestler by next year,
Soon
bro.
enough.
Wow.
Soon
You're
enough.
coming down.
I'm getting shorter and shorter as I go.
Oh, you'll be living at half mast, dude.
Yeah.
Like somebody fucking died in service, son. They're bringing you down.
Soon enough.
Cold turkey. It may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some weird mind voodoo or some hoodoo, some seancery that could happen from your crazy neighbor. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume. And they look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative award-nominated device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all-natural, delicious flavors. You get it? Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy. And even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to Try Fume and use code Theo to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack. That's TRYFUM.com and use code Theo to save an additional 10% off your order today. Today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you need help, if you aren't lined up, if you aren't connecting with yourself, if things have gotten astray, you're not the only one. I take antidepressants right now. I was in therapy yesterday. When you need it, you need it. And if it's that time for you, that's okay. Give it a shot. BetterHelp. That's right. They can match you with a licensed therapist. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's convenient, flexible, and can suit to your schedule. You can connect with your therapist over phone, FaceTime, or even just text. Whatever you need. Therapy. It's okay. That's what I'm telling you. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Theo today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/THEO. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Wow, man. So there's a lot of injuries on the job?
Yeah, and like I said, we ran around like idiots. Like I say to guys now, all of them, I still talk to guys on the job. I'm like, don't stop running around. Don't do this stuff no more.
Like, what do you mean running around when you say that?
So at one point, I want to say 5-6 years on, they cut the steps off the trucks. So it was all right. You used to jump on the back of the truck, hang on. I'm sure you see pictures of guys, whipping. I mean, I had guys that would do 50 miles an hour, and I'm on the back of the truck hanging off for dear life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Boom, hitting
man.
bumps and,
Yeah. Oh,
But then-
y'all were doing drugs back there?
Ooh, I wasn't doing drugs. I never did that stuff. But there was guys
okay. You mean hitting bumps in the
hitting
truck?
bumps. Oh, not...
Yeah, my bad, man. And I'm not trying to accuse you of doing anything.
No, but listen, I'll get to that. But yeah, so you were, then they cut the steps off the truck.
Why? To make it harder for you?
Well, pretty much. But the union was saying, like, we all thought it was because we were getting done too fast.
Okay.
And listen, it's reality. Like, if we're getting done in 2-3 hours, they're saying, what are you doing the rest of the day?
Right.
Which is totally understood.
Being in the union. Yeah, don't you know what
Exactly.
a fucking union is for?
And we would just be fine with just going back and hanging out, eating lunch. Some guys would, hang around, play cards. Some others were, doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
Enjoying their lives. But yeah, it just wasn't, to rush and run around. But that's what I did. When I went to Staten Island, I was working with a guy who ran marathons on weekends.
Wow.
Dude, my buddy Eric, we were running. Like, I did probably 3-4 miles easy every day running.
So you're cruising then. Pull this mic down just a little, lower it.
Yeah, I'm running, just running on the side of a truck, just running house to house.
So it was pretty athletic.
At that time, yeah.
When the trucks had the 3 steps on, it was pretty athletic.
No, when they took the steps off,
Oh, then you got to run alongside of it.
Yeah, then we were running along. More guys were getting a little healthier.
Yeah.
It's not the most healthy job.
Really?
Yeah, lunch
Why
always
is that?
Lunch always came with dessert.
Oh yeah.
For what? A hoagie and then add on some donuts.
Oh yeah.
Coffee.
Get you a little fucking cut of cheesecake, huh?
Exactly.
Some tiramisu around the fucking holidays, huh?
Yep.
In memory of fucking Big Carlos or whatever. Yeah, I feel that, man. Damn. Well, that's like New Orleans. I think New Jersey and New Orleans have always been very similar. I think I bet probably Staten Island, some of that accent you also hear in New Orleans. People like to fucking have a meal. It's important. People will have a beer at lunch a lot of times if they only have 2 or children or less. You get a lot of, it's a little bit more cultural to be eaten, So you guys would get done, you guys would go eat. So you guys are getting paid for the full day. You got a couple of hours, you get done. So you must have been enjoying that.
Yeah, it was good. It was sit down time. Like you said, you're getting paid for the 8 hours. But there were guys that stayed out there all day. They didn't mind it. They, on those hot days or the cold days, they didn't mind it. They stayed out there.
And do you have to wear a shirt the whole time? Or what is you have people do it shirtless or not?
There was some guys that wore some, questionable stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But before I got on, in 96, all the rules changed. They went to the federal license. Before that, prior, you didn't need a CDL to drive the trucks.
Wait, you didn't need a commercial driver's license to drive a sanitation truck?
Yep, up until 96. So those guys were partying.
Damn, bro. What?
Dude, those guys were partying. I heard some stories.
So you could drive a Ford Escort and then drive a garbage truck.
Exactly. There are guys like a Mini Cooper. They'll come in a Mini Cooper and then jump in the garbage truck. I could do this.
Maximum Cooper, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
So yeah, then they went to the federal license. So now it means everybody's got to get drug tested, random drug tests, everything. 96 that started.
Yeah.
And the partying here and there. Some guys just didn't care. So they still went for it.
Would some guys just drink on the job? Was there any partying on the job?
Ooh. I had guys, one of my best guys, God rest his soul, literally out the gate, 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. Hey, kid, stop over here. Run into the store, come out 2 tall boys.
Oh, yeah.
And they did the routes where every half hour there was a deli. Him and his partner. So if I filled in with him for his partner, literally every time it was a half hour up, there was a different deli.
Oh, so they got a cheek full of mortadella and 2 beers, huh?
Run in,
praise
come
God,
out.
brother. Praise God.
Yeah. No, guys enjoyed themselves.
Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds like it should be, Before they started fucking everything in America is a penny pinching fucking fiasco now. Nobody can have a fucking cheek full of strong cheese and 2 fucking Busch Lights, just to get through the workday.
Oh.
And
there was one dude he was purple at one point.
Why? What happened to him?
He was just drinking.
Oh, drinking that much?
Dude,
Yeah.
his skin was awful.
Some people.
I don't even know if he's alive anymore.
He's not. I'll tell you. He's not.
It's
That
questionable.
guy ain't alive, dude. Look, after Purple, it just fucking, he
It's
turned into a BLM
white.
activist,
Yeah.
and it's a fucking rap after that. son.
Right, right in the ground.
Oh, man. And what about, was there a lot of uppers? Because it seems like people would be on Adderall, people would be on cocaine, people would be, was there anybody that could do that kind of lifestyle?
Oh, there were guys that party like that.
Yeah.
There was one guy, right out of the 70s. My first day in Staten Island, So let's talk about this day, like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad. This guy said, like, bandana on, 70s glasses, right out of hippie central.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, you're with me. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm in Staten Island, first day. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Once again, they don't know who I am, so they shove you with this guy. He's like, all right, kid, you go up and drive first. I'll stay in the back. So I'm like, all right. So I'm driving the route. I live in Staten Island, still didn't know streets.
Wow.
You know, so I'm just driving around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's that smell? Dude's hanging on the back, living his dream, just toking away.
Getting high, huh?
And then like half hour go by. All right, kid, now you go out. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Wow.
And I'm still I'm like, but some guys did it. And it was a daily thing.
Pull up a picture of Stevie Starlight if you can. See if this guy looks anything like this gentleman or not.
But some guys just couldn't stop, man.
Look like this guy a little, maybe?
Yeah. No, not that crazy hair.
Yeah, Stevie's
like bandana across his head.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
I know what you're talking about,
Kooky
huh?
shit. Like circle glasses.
Yeah. Huh? Some guy who's fucking, he listens to Springsteen, but he don't admit it, huh?
Yeah, probably in the closet.
Yeah, closeted Springsteen.
Yeah, definitely not telling people about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, once you get into Staten Island, things changing because it's more like family housing and stuff, right?
Exactly.
And what is that like? Does it almost feel like a lot easier? Does it not feel like the front lines of trash? Because I feel like in the city, you're on the fucking front lines. You're right there. It's coming out of the chute. You're fucking, you got guys catching shit in their beard and shit. But out in the suburbs, it feels like it would be a little bit easier. Is it or not?
Listen, when you get to the suburbs, now it turns into you're dealing with homeowners. Like when you were in the buildings, they didn't care.
Yeah, you never saw them.
Never saw people. It's not like, hey, I'm from 4F.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. They don't care.
Oh, in a city, you could just drive and just yell
out anyway.
Time. Yeah.
There's cabs beeping like this. So you never, you're not waking anybody up. Everybody's used to it.
Right.
And you come to Staten Island and, even Queens areas, like Brooklyn areas, now you're waking everybody up. It's 6 a.m. So who's bitching about that? Like I said, getting in the way. Yeah. Like there's certain areas that we couldn't go in. Like they make them pick up midnight to like 5 so that you're not in their way.
Really? So like, what do you mean, richer areas?
No. Just owned areas by certain types of people in New York.
So maybe upper echelon types or whatever, you think?
Certain religion people. Okay. They have their...
So like the Orthodox Jews don't want you in their neighborhood between 12 to 5.
Bingo.
Wow.
And those are some nasty motherfuckers.
Is it pretty nasty over there in their neighborhood?
Well, listen, it's nothing against them. Because I have actually been in some of those houses. Yeah. Because there are people in those areas that are very nice. But then, Passover comes and they throw everything out. They're like 5, 6-year-olds throwing matches, like shit, lighting shit on fire. It was crazy. I was like, I can't do this no more. Because they would bring everybody pretty much who was available from other garages to come and do this. And you get one truck on a block and you just go up and down all day. And they throw everything out. Like, I didn't know if you knew that about the Orthodox Jews.
They just get rid of everything once a year?
They throw everything out. Wow. Couches, beds, clothes, everything goes in the garbage.
Why? It's just part of the tradition?
A part of their religion.
Wow.
Start fresh. It's crazy.
So you got tons of trash.
Yeah, and it's just chaos. So like it would be a garbage truck every block and a fire truck, fireman would have like 3 blocks because the kids are running around. And I had guys do it plenty of times. They light something on fire and then throw it in the back of the truck. Now, if I don't see it, now everything in the truck's on fire.
Why do they do that? Is that like a kind of like are they training for like battle or something?
No, it's just the kids.
Kids screwing around.
Animals.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So I blocked a bus one day. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, then that's when they get into, we don't want them on the truck, the streets early, this time, blah, blah, blah. And these little kids get off the buses because now I held them up on the block. And they're blowing the horn. They have their own police, their own people, and they tell you got to move the truck. I'm like, dude, I'm almost done with the block. I'm not moving the truck.
Yeah.
The little kid gets off and he's flicking me the finger.
Wow.
He's like 5. I'm like, what are they?
Just no respect, huh?
What goes on here?
I don't know. I got a bunch of Jewish friends. I don't have any Orthodox Jewish friends, though. Them OJs, I think, or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I shared a room at I was in a halfway house with an Orthodox dude one time, and he brought his own fucking grill. He was dressed like Biggie Smalls at a Masonic temple, and he was sweating. And if you said pussy around him, he couldn't eat his eyes.
Get the shakes.
Oh, he'd open his mouth and fucking put his tongue out. His guy was a perv. And he was grilling his own meats in his fucking room or whatever with the sunlight or whatever. I don't know what the dude. The guy would have bait, he's in there fucking making burn ends or whatever. Fucking at 4 a.m., when Allah says he can. It was just
with a magnifying glass.
Yeah, the shit was fucking unreal.
A cloud comes. He's like, damn it, they ruined it again.
And it was Arizona, dude. This day he showed up on the porch. Literally, I'm not joking. It was 104 degrees outside, and this guy is dressed, bro, like Cruella de Vil, bro. This motherfucker.
Man. They wear some gear.
Oh, this guy had been raising some fucking mixed dogs in his coat, bro. This guy, he smelled horrible. What ethnicity probably has the worst smelling garbage? Would it be Orthodox, you think?
No, it was all the same.
It was all the same.
It's garbage, man. Once you throw it in there, it's all blended in. And like you said, during the summers, it was grueling. Like people would walk by, like covering their faces. Like that's how bad the truck smelled sometimes. Once you're in it, you don't know anymore.
Wow,
like you don't smell nothing anymore.
You get used to it, huh?
So used to it. Cat urine was the worst for me. Oh, it was awful. Because you would rub up on a bag that a cat just pissed on. And like you were saying with the truck. Now we get in, me and my partner, and I know like bags stay far away from me.
Yeah.
I'm a big enough guy, long enough arms. I kept that shit away. I never let the bags touch my legs. And I would look at my partner, I'm like, you got hit. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, you don't smell that? Because now you get in, it's even cold out. You close the doors, you put the heat on, and you smell that. Turn cat piss up,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's the worst smell out there.
Yeah, I remember we used to get a bowl of cat piss, and we would do a hair dryer over it, bro, just to fucking piss my sister off. Do it under the door by her room. Fuck her, dude.
Awful.
Fuck her. Wow. So there's no time of year really when the trash smells worse, huh?
Well, the summers are bad.
Just the summers overall.
But yeah, it's there was some point, you would open up a lid, and if it was sitting there with maggots and stuff, you get a kick. And that's another smell that was pretty brutal. But other than that, you got used to it.
Was there a borough of New York where the trash smelled the worst, you think?
No.
Okay. All the same.
I mean, Staten Island, there was a movie theater not far from the dump. Before they closed it, it was awful, the smell. And they were building houses like crazy right there. I'm like, how could people buy? And then I became a garbage man, and then I don't smell it no more. Like, yeah, Staten Island don't smell no more. Because we would get shit on all the time by the boroughs.
Yeah.
Trash Island, all that. But you just didn't smell it.
Dude, there's a lot of pride for people that live on trash, I think. There's something pretty amazing about it in a weird way. Like when I was growing up, we would burn the trash in the ditch. That was the big thing in our area. Yeah. You'd bring everything out, you burn it in a ditch. The kids, we would like get wet, hose each other down and then run through the smoke till you look all black. You'd be out there like
That's different.
It would be like, yeah, you would just... It wasn't like doing blackface, and it was just like burning trash, but you definitely looked a little smoky by the end. It was just something to do.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, fuck, I don't know.
When I went out to Staten Island.
Oh yeah, and what the difference is?
Yeah, it's just like I said. You deal with a different person now.
Now because you're dealing with humans.
You're dealing with people who own the garbage.
Right.
Like it's their house to house to house to house.
Right.
I tell people all the time, I knew things about you from your garbage that you do not think I know.
Really?
And then I wasn't picking through it.
Right.
When you put that stuff in, it breaks up the bags. I knew when people, it was your wife's time of the month.
Oh, yeah.
I know my wife will be disgusted by that, but you knew it. When the bags ripped, your life is in front of me. And I ain't picking through it.
Right. But and it's crazy how quick you see things so fast. Dude, I did this game one day, and I went in New York City, right downtown. I went in the city, and I think I was on the Lower East Side. And I did this game with people. I said, I'm going to open a bag of trash. You smell it. You take a whiff out of it, right? Just a random bag.
Okay.
And if you can guess 3 items that are in it, I give you $100, right? So, dude, So these people, they all thought I was like, that the bags, I had like brought them from home or something, and
Yeah.
put them together, whatever.
Like it was yours.
I was picking these bitches up from the fucking corner.
So you didn't even know if they would be right.
Bro, I had no idea what was in them, dude. So we had people, we crack a bag and
come
fucking
on.
people are taking hits off of it, dude, over there off of in Alphabet City, bro. It was
Oh,
fucking-
that was nasty stuff down there.
yeah, we made a video of it online. But anyway, that was something we did with trash in the city. What about was there any ladies that tried to flirt with you? That ever happened on the route once you got into the houses? Like any fucking bin babies or any
they didn't notice you.
trying to run that can clam out on you, bro?
Well, that's why I wore the shirt. This shirt's 25 years old.
Really?
It's been. I was gonna give it to you, but it says, "Put out your can. Here comes the garbage man." I used to sport this shirt all the time.
And it's a sexy lady, huh?
With her butt out, with her ass hanging in the wind.
I like that.
But no, listen, you didn't see people.
Yeah.
Unless you were, waking people up and in their way. Other than that, you were not like. It was crazy because nobody even knew. They never acknowledged you.
Wow.
New York hated you because you were loud. Until, I don't remember the year, but like the New York Post or Daily News, one of those shit papers in New York, they posted how much money we made per year.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Now everybody wanted the job.
Yeah.
When they see you making six figures, picking garbage up, oh well, my guy this and that. Now all of a sudden they know you're around.
Wow. Once the money comes on, huh?
But prior to that, they could care less.
That same thing happened with Joe Rogan in a way. I think once he got a Spotify deal and people saw like, oh, he's making money.
Now they all jump on his tracks.
Now they all fucking want to write articles about him, say he's racist, they're just using his name,
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys pulling 6 figures a year with the job.
Yeah.
Right. Starting first year, it gains traction.
No, yeah. My first year, I think, if I had to guess, 27 grand. Wow. But just with the overtime with the winter, with the snow and all that stuff, I think my first year I made like almost 60.
Wow. Okay.
So it almost doubled.
Right.
Because you have to be there. New York doesn't stop. So you're on call all day, 12-hour shifts. I worked up to 31 days straight, 12-hour shifts.
Oh.
31, inches of snow here, 2 feet of snow here. It happens. So, but you can make that money. I just had a guy just retired. He was making almost 200 grand.
Wow.
Picking garbage up. But he would do 12-hour days every day. Overtime, he would eat up. Kind of hated his family. So, and you get it. When you meet these families, you're like, yeah, this is why this guy works all the time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this says bottom 20%, 36.3. This must be old, though.
No, it's. I think starting right now is like 70.
Okay, the average salary for a garbage collector in New York is around $76,000 per year.
And that's not overtime.
Right, so that's not having your overtime. So that's where you can get up to 100. You can get up to 6 figures. Wow.
You
can almost double that.
Easy.
Wow.
Guys are doubling it easy.
Remember when they had the fad of like the kids meet the garbage man?
Oh, that was like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
I used to, love throwing beers to the guys. Yeah. And it turned out, like, then I come to Staten Island and those guys were still on the job.
Nuh-uh.
I was like, dude, I remember you. He's like, yeah, you were that fat little kid throwing shit off the top of because I still lived on the same block. Uh-huh. So they kind of were like, yeah, we had like a porch out front. Uh-huh. And, I dropped the beers down to the guys. Yeah. But like I was saying, with wearing, like, they didn't wear uniforms back then. Dude had like a wife beater on and like a pair of shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Just gaggling through the streets. Like, they
didn't
give a shit.
Yeah, dude's wearing a fucking snorkel and a fucking...
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Some questionable stuff back then.
Dude wearing a snorkel and a bathrobe over there.
But like you said, like I was saying, they didn't acknowledge you.
Yeah.
You were there, you picked the garbage up, you left.
You're kind of the invisible man.
Exactly.
You really are, because nobody wants to get that close. People kind of want to pretend you don't exist unless you're making noise. People don't engage. You're kind of the invisible man.
Until they realize you were making money.
And then suddenly like, oh, look at this rich asshole rolling through here.
Guys, I got to put more garbage out.
Yeah.
And then they would turn into, well, it's your job. Pick this up. Here, take this. You have to take this. Yeah,
what's the worst parts of the job that you get? That kind of stuff? Is people telling you like...
Yeah, just they always tell you, oh, yeah, I pay your salary. So we always used to keep like nickels and dimes in the truck. And I'd be like, hold on, I'll give you your money back. Because they would always say like, all right, each person gives you a nickel a year. Or
Right.
and I would throw the nickel at them. Here's your money. Get the fuck out of my face. You got to take this. The guy's whole apartment's out there.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, go. No. And I would always respect the person to come out. If you just said thank you or even gave us water, because, you weren't supposed to take money and all that stuff. If you just said thank you and acknowledged me, like I said, that we
Wow.
were, nobody knew us. Thank you went a long way with me. I'd take everything. I don't care. But when you look at me like, oh, I pay your salary and look down to me.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
Your stuff would stay there for months.
Oh, yeah, I'll fucking put it back in your house.
Yeah. I'll throw it right back on your curb.
Dude, I'll take it. This is how spiteful I would have been, bro. I would have picked it up and the next day fucking brought it back. Fucking put it back on the guy's doorstep.
I got rid of this yesterday. Where'd this come back?
Make him think he's crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Now,
But you
what
had
about...
that.
What's that?
You had that a lot, People were very,
People thought
pushy
they
about
owned
it.
you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I pay your salary and all that junk. So
Fuck you. That's what I say to that, bro. Fuck them. Yeah, I think we always have respect for people that did something, Well, we lived also, we got a little rural by us, so sometimes you'd have the bootleg garbage man, who started their own service, a guy who put took a truck and just put 3 wooden plywood walls on it, I'm talking
to make
about?
the back of the truck a little taller.
Yeah.
Fit more bags. Just load
Yeah,
it
bro,
up.
that dude would fucking. Our neighbor was one of those guys for a while, so his truck would always be out there. But he'd go to the rural routes, and get him a little bit of garbage, man.
Well, because we used to take everything. You're talking, couches, beds, everything, even with recycling. You're taking refrigerators and all that stuff.
Really?
Everything. We took everything.
Until what year?
No, still to this day, you had to take everything.
So you'll throw a refrigerator in the back of a garbage truck?
Yeah, well, our recycling trucks, they went to 2 sides.
Oh, for recycling.
It's so annoying. Yeah. But there was some that didn't fit in the small side, with the recycling trucks now that the city gets. So now, they would call you up, be like, oh, you got to go and throw it in the regular garbage truck.
So a recycling truck is a different truck?
Different truck. It's split down the middle. There's like a, say, 28-inch side on this side and a 3-foot side on the other side.
Okay.
So the truck is split into 2. So you could pick up paper and you could pick up metal, glass, any stoves, stuff like that you put on the other side.
On the metal, on the...
Yeah, on the metal side.
Okay. Wow, and how do you decipher that? Because a lot of times people just put a recycling bin, a big recycling garbage can out there, right?
Got to be separated in New York. But I didn't give a fuck.
Right.
We used to drive early days. We used to open the sides of the truck. There's a door so the mechanics and stuff can get in there and work on the compactor and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we used to bring the blades all the way home, open the side hatch, and drive the streets. And while I was driving, you were in the back loading, but I was throwing stuff in the side of the truck while you were in the back. So we were just loading the whole truck, the whole block.
With whatever.
I didn't care. I just threw it all in.
Yeah.
It all winds up in the same place.
Does it?
A good amount of it. The paper is recycled, 100%. Everybody gets crazy with the bottles and the glass and all that. Unfortunately, I tell people the truth and they never wanted to hear it. Mm-hmm. Cans and stuff, yes. Metal, they recycle. The bottles, they just break up and winds up in a landfill.
Wow.
Colored glass was like gold to them.
Really?
And they stopped using it for everything. Glass is cheaper to make than it is to recycle and all that. It's too expensive.
So colored glass, what do you mean? Why was colored glass so valuable?
Just because now you had to pigment it and put color into it, the regular glass, so it costs more to make.
Oh,
so like if you got, like a green glass, it already has the color in it.
Yeah.
So they melt it down and they use it again.
Oh.
But they stopped using all that, like all the beer bottles and stuff. They really don't use that
I
stuff
remember
anymore.
Sprite used to come in like a green bottle.
Yep, no more.
That was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You got you a fucking Sprite, bro.
Now they're jamming you all up. You think it's Sprite Zero now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sprite Zero, dude. Come out the closet, bro. I want full Sprite.
Give me full no caffeine.
Yeah, I want I want pure sugar, bro. What were there some accidents with the trucks? How dangerous did it get for people? Because if people didn't have commercial driver's license and they're driving those trucks in the beginning, was there a lot of like was there casualties? Was there?
Yeah, guys would do. There were a few guys that passed away. And it was more just people's stupidity. I had one guy, I don't know why he was holding something going in the truck, wound up ripping his arm off.
The truck, it pulled him in?
Dude, literally next time I saw him, he had like this mechanical, like 3-finger metal thing.
Oh, like a skill crane?
Yeah. He was like, he was like picking up like teddy bears and shit.
Get you a fucking Care Bear.
I'm like,
bruh.
dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, my hand got stuck. He said his hand got stuck and sucked him in, and it literally just his arm off. Yeah.
Is it a blade right there?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I had another guy who was holding paper in New York. They would wrap the bundles of paper before all this technology came out now. He used to pick massive bundles up, and he had the paper in the back of the truck and literally almost slid off all his fingers because his fingers were caught in the string. And when the truck closed, it tightened the string up so much. Dude, like, it looked like a ring got caught on all 4 of his. Oh, it was nasty. They surgically fixed his fingers. Like, it was a nightmare.
Wow.
So there's some dangerous ends to it.
Trash collector dies after inhaling discarded acid.
Yeah, no, that's the guy. I think that's the Staten Island guy.
Let's see what happened. A New York City sanitation worker died yesterday after he inhaled the fumes of a corrosive acid from a discarded container that burst under the compacting blades of a garbage truck, making routine collections in Brooklyn.
It might have been Heaney, I think might be the last name.
Let's see. The source of the acid was not known as of last night when this article was written. This is in, I think, 2006. Touched off. A second sanitation worker was injured in the incident, which brought the mayor and sanitation commissioner rushing to the burn unit of New York Hospital. Touched off. The Brooklyn District Attorney Office said the investigation is continuing depending on what evidence is obtained. Anything else? Wow.
Yeah, because somebody threw a car battery, like in a bag. Like I said, you don't know what's in there. And when it cycled, it exploded all over the dude. And that should kill you instantly. Like, yeah, it was shitty. I want to say his last name was Heaney, but I could be wrong. I wasn't on the job yet, so I didn't know him.
Yeah.
But
Hanley. He said.
Hanley, that's it.
Wow. Yeah, what is there some other injuries? Like, what about people ever hit pedestrians with trucks and stuff?
Yeah. That, listen, I stayed away from all that, but there were definitely guys that were not good drivers. They clipped people's toes and shit in Manhattan. I used to yell, "Watch your toes." Because people in Manhattan.
Watch your toes. That's what you yelling.
Yeah, because on the corners of Manhattan, everybody's standing in the fucking sidewalk, like standing in the crosswalk. It's like, dude, watch your toes.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a guy in New York. I want to say it was Manhattan. That dude just rolled, and it was his partner. Just rolled right over his feet. It blows out your ankle. Yeah, when they rolled right over his foot, boof, his ankle blew out
because of the pressure.
The weight of the truck.
Oh my gosh, that's like a cartoon, bro.
Oh, it's nasty. Nasty shit. Wow. I had a buddy fall out of the truck. He was having fun in the truck, let's put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Older guy. And just dude made a left and he rolled out. His leg went under. I mean, they graphed his foot. They graphed everything. They saved it, but it looked like he was wearing a moon boot.
Oh, yeah.
Got off the job. But anytime I saw him after that, foot was like 4 times the size.
Some Neil Armstrong fan, huh?
Yeah.
Dude's out there.
Like dragging a marshmallow around. It's crazy.
Yeah, my dad had this buddy, and one of his feet, you used to see this commonly back in the day. Somebody would have that big sole on their shoe,
Mm-hmm.
Somebody be uneven,
Yep.
And my buddy had his friend, and his friend would always stand on this little piece of cement because it made him even, bro. He like wouldn't leave it in the neighborhood, bro. My dad's neighborhood.
Yeah.
He'd like kind of walk around it, like pivot around it, but he fucking
Never leave that spot.
The second he left off that bitch, bro.
Saw him.
Yeah, the world got kind of everything turned into a teeter-totter for him.
Oh.
Wow. So it's really, really fascinating. I'm trying to think of some other.
Yeah, I think you had Mike Rowe on, and he was one of the guys that years ago listed the sanitation as like one of the 10 deadliest jobs.
Wow.
And it's just more, dude, you'd be shocked at how many people don't see the truck that literally just drive into the back of the truck. And if you're back there, it's a wrap. There was a lot of close
So there's
calls.
a lot of danger that happens like that. People just hitting the back of the truck. The guy's standing back there.
Driving and not paying attention to you.
Oh.
It's craziness. Everybody's in a rush.
Yeah.
Especially in New York. And you're no pay no mind list, so they're just driving around. I mean, the truck can't get any bigger for you not to see. And people are driving to the back of the truck all the time.
Damn.
I had a dude hit me once, literally I see him I'm at break and I see him bouncing off cars coming down the road. And I'm like, what's this dude doing? Like ping, ping, ping. I jumped over, like in the truck, there's like this cab, like this little thing where the engine is. I literally was jumping onto my partner. And he was like, what's going on here? Like he thought we were getting frisky at 8 a.m. Next thing you know, boom, the dude drills the truck. Literally drives right into the driver's side, like gas tank, right near my, like, I'm like, what the hell? Turned out the dude, old dude, was on all kinds of medication.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, dude, my dad sometimes he'd like get into he'd go to the post office, right? My dad was real old when I was born. He was 70. And so at 80 years old, he's taking me on rides. Like, I'm going to go to the post office. And I think he didn't know kind of like how age or worked or whatever, because I hit like a growth spurt. And he's like, will you just drive around? I can't legally park here. Will you drive around the block for me? And I was fucking 10 years old, dude, you know? I was about 5. I think I was 5'3" or something. I'd hit a little growth spurt. And his vision was bad. And so I'm fucking, next thing you know, I'm driving this Delta 88, bro, right? This big boat, no power steering, bro. I fucking go around the block, dude. And I don't know how big the block is, you know?
Yeah.
I go around, I fucking hit 7 cars, bro. And this thing was a piece of shit, dude.
Like a battleship.
Oh, my dad, he bought it off a couple of brothers, and it had some 22s in the back right around the corner. So he was always listening to like NPR, like with bass and shit. Like, none of the whole life didn't make any sense. Dude, I fucking hit 6 cars. I could finally get back around and pick up my dad. He had no idea.
Where you been?
The whole car is fucking piece of shit. He has no idea, bro. God. What about the rat problem? Is that what kind of animalia do y'all run into on the garbage route, bro?
Ooh.
And be honest with me.
Yeah, no. It's just different areas had different, Staten Island was like mice. You'd see some, decent size, like 7-inch, 8-inch rats with like, a nice sized tail, but
that's what I'm talking about, dude. Fuck, a mice is just a gay rat, I think.
Yeah, they're just babies.
Yeah, just
running around like idiots.
Yeah.
I used to squish them with my feet.
Really? You could step right on them?
Yeah, they're in the bags, and then when they come out, and they assholes and eyes popping out all over. Oh yeah. God. It's nasty, but but I stopped doing that when I got a little older.
Yeah. I think you grow out of that, and the government will put lipstick on them and then fucking kill them with fucking Ozempic or whatever. So who the fuck? Say like you're the bad guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I stepped on a few mice. Oh well. Yeah. Kill me now.
Now, what about the rat problem in the city? You hear about it? Oh. They allegedly signed a czar. They got some this lesbian cheese hunter up there now fucking trying to kill him, right? Which is fine. More power to her if she wants to fucking show up and go to war. I'm game, right? But how bad was the rat problem in the city?
Well, even with that, like, let's be honest. You ain't getting rid of them.
Nuh-uh.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And there was some big boys up there.
Fuck yeah.
The UN. Oof. Because you're right near the water there.
Oh, I saw one wearing a Charles Barkley jersey.
Dude, I wouldn't doubt it up there.
Bro,
so there's one night we're working picking baskets up. You know how there's corner baskets in Manhattan? So there's just a basket on every corner where people throw litter and stuff,
Oh yeah.
So there's all lined up in front of the UN. Mm-hmm. So we're doing the baskets. It was early in my career.
And is each basket a different country or something?
No. No, it's just a basket like all along the UN. There's just more there because they don't want litter.
Okay.
So there's just more baskets in the front of the UN.
I'm thinking it's like the Epcot Center of Trash or something,
So, but it's the Epcot Center of rats. I mean, dude, I'm talking boys.
Yeah.
And dude, I dumped the basket. So it was quick. Like once you started doing the baskets, you spin off the truck quick, bing, bam, you're right back. Literally takes me 3 seconds to dump a pail.
Oh, so you throw it, dump it, and it's back. And
boom, and then you jump on the truck.
Okay.
We still had the steps at the time. So I see fluttering going on. And dude, I mean, with the tail, this thing had to be 18 inches.
Oh, yeah, that thing probably went to Rutgers, bro.
Yeah. He was that fullback. Yeah. So big boy. So, dude, I'm working with this dude. I'm jump off the truck, and I'm running along the truck.
Away from it?
Dude, I'm just running. He's like, what are you doing? He looks next to me. I'm running. I said, there's something in there, man. He's like, what do you mean? So we went back there with like the broom and the shovel to like kill it and just cycled it up. I was like, I ain't fucking around with it.
Wow.
Because you would have like possums and stuff. Like as you cycle it, like a little garbage will fall down and it gives them a little escape. So they pop out. The little mice used to do that all the time.
No, wait, now explain it to me. I'm not understanding it.
So when the cycle goes up in the truck,
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes there's like bags and stuff right at the edge
Right.
that you just pushed up.
Right.
So when you open it again to now like bring the next set of garbage up, like you would literally get like a bag or two will flip down and it'll push garbage up towards the ledge
Mm-hmm.
of the truck. And an animal, that's like their escape route now.
Oh, I see.
So I'm like, fuck that. I ain't doing that. So I told him, you go back there. And he had time on the job, so he was used to it.
He was used to it. So sometimes the it'll be cycling. You'll see an animal just pop out of there.
Yeah, you know, you get possums, raccoons, the mice, the rats. They literally just jump right out.
Yeah. Now, what's the most here's a one right here. Garbage man saves kittens from trash. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Shana Tavade probably doing
you'd
this.
be shocked, man.
Yeah. Anybody ever try to put a baby in the garbage, bro?
So,
I won't tell anybody if you
No,
tell me.
no, no,
And I'll
no.
know if you're lying too.
all right, so I had like a year on a job, got hurt. I had this shoulder done, surgery. So they do like this mail carrying thing where you bring, the mail to like lower east garages. So you go to like the main area, pick up all the mail, you give it to each garage. So I pull into one of the garages, I forget, somewhere in Manhattan 2, I think.
Oh, so it's a job you can still work even though you're injured.
Exactly.
I
So
see.
I'm like in rehab, coming back, trying to get my arm back together. And next thing you know, I walk in the garage. Everybody's in Tyvek suits, white Tyvek, covered head to toe. I got a t-shirt and pants on. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck's
What
going
the
on
fuck
here?
is this? A Shriners meeting?
Right? So there's a garbage truck emptied out on the floor because they got a phone call that a girl put a baby in a corner basket.
Oh,
I don't even know if they found it. I just,
nobody puts baby in a corner basket. Bro.
no, nobody. But they did it. Listen, they were nervous, and that's what they do, these kids.
Man, it's heartbreaking, man. What about this video right here? Garbage man saves kittens from trash. Let's get a little volume on it. This dude cutting into a little oh, look like he cutting open a bag of Coke, huh? This guy. Oh, he heard something. Oh, it's an 8-ball of cats, bro. Damn.
Yeah.
Baby kittens.
They heard the meowing.
Oh. Gosh.
That's people for you, man.
That's unreal.
That's people.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you learn about society? What are some of your thoughts on society? You think that, like, does it give you a negative look at society? Does you just think this, or does that kind of thing even happen, like, as you work in that industry?
Yeah, listen, it'll change your mind real quick to just this strange people out there, man. It's some crazy shit that you see in the garbage. Like, that reminds me of the time I smell a skunk. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell in the back of the truck? Like, that's something odd. So now I could smell it. And there was like a skunk in like a little pathmark bag like that, we used to call them, like the little plastic bags, tied up and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, like, who the fuck took the time to grab this skunk, kill it, and then put it in a bag?
Yeah.
It's like, people ain't right to even think of doing that. Like, who's playing with skunks? Like, but
Perverts, bro. Perverts, I think. I wouldn't do it, bro. Yeah, people get rid of any lot. Yeah, like, I'm trying to think of the biggest animal somebody could get rid of without you guys noticing. Probably black lab, huh?
that was the yellow lab. Dude, I still to this day I could see those guys
Crying, huh?
crying.
And were they gay guys, you think?
Yeah, some would say.
Yeah. And no judgment anyway, bro. Everybody. Yeah, everybody's got a gay cousin or son or father. These days. You can't even.
Everywhere.
In 3 generations, everybody's going to be just gay doing Uber Eats.
Dipping their toes into it.
Oh, yeah. Who knows, bro? What about on the home front? What is the home front life like for a sanitation worker? Is it tough on, like, your home life? Is it easy on it? What kind of life is it?
The winters were tough. Like I said, if it snowed, you were stuck there. 12-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts.
Like when you say stuck there, what do you mean? Oh, because it takes so long to get through the route?
No, it's just like if it snows, like so New York, like, and I've been here when they had that ice storm. I think it was a few years back. The whole like everybody shuts down. New York don't stop. Like we're out there all night, through the night, 12-hour shifts, spreading salt, plowing snow. I mean,
so you guys do other jobs instead of just the garbage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know this.
We clean all the streets, the snow. We do the salt spread and the front end loader work. We do all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn, you shit. I guess if the Rangers needed a Zamboni driver, they could put one of you guys in.
I'd probably pull it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that you guys do all those other jobs.
Yeah. Oh, there's probably, if I had to guess, over 100 different job titles on that job. It's just not garbage man.
Right.
There's so many ranking. Like you could have a desk job. You could have the guy who hooked me up with this, Johnny Lex. That was my boy. He had the desk job, and that's a job.
Now, what's the desk job? Like, what's that guy doing?
Nothing. He literally is just setting up the days, what's tomorrow. All right, let me get all the cards and the routes ready for tomorrow. Pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
It's we call them tit jobs.
Yeah.
It's a tit job.
Yeah. So they're in there just doing fantasy football, really.
Yeah, and he's terrible at it.
Is he?
Yeah, he's 0-6 this year.
Oh, damn,
terrible.
Johnny
I was talking to him last night. I'm like,
Johnny
dude, the team's sad, bro.
He probably had Aaron Rodgers. That's why he probably had an injury.
Yeah, no, I don't think he did, but just sad. But there was a lot of, and that winter aspect is a totally different animal because you're doing just say, 3-4 days. You could get 6 inches of snow. Take you 2-3 days to like settle in. Now you got to go pick all the garbage up that was left out for the last 3-4 days. So now every house that you normally do 2 days a week, now it's all double garbage for one pickup.
Because you missed one.
Well, yeah. And
because of the snow.
Exactly. Like Manhattan after a snowstorm, oof, bad news, man.
Really?
Piles and piles of it.
Of garbage.
Garbage.
Just
everywhere.
unlimited garbage.
It's unbelievable.
You ever find somebody hiding in the garbage? Like you have to you have to hit a bin, like hit a dumpster with a fucking wrench or something to get a homeless guy out of there ever?
Nah, never had to do that. It's pretty, nobody wants to be in the garbage in New York.
Wow.
It's
funny because in movies and stuff, you always see this romanticized look of a homeless guy popping out of a dumpster. You know what I'm saying? Like that old kind of.
Well, they're around, but we don't do container work.
Oh, you don't?
That's privates. The private guys, those containers on the street where those guys are sleeping behind. Yeah, no, that's all privates.
What about like a dumpster at a school or something like that's private?
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Okay.
But that's a whole different truck. Those are easy packs. So they have forks on the front that lift it over the truck and then compact it in behind them.
So you never worked with that?
I never picked that up. I drove them. I used to have to dump them, but I never actually picked them up.
So that's called an easy pack truck, the ones that have the forks on the back that
on
like,
the front. Yeah,
on the,
right
front.
on the front.
Oh, yeah, that go right into those 2 slots on the side of the dumpster and then they throw it back over the top.
Yep.
And whenever you throw that back over, so sometimes just a party of trash come right down the front or
Yeah,
juice.
they're filthy trucks.
Oh.
Disgusting.
Oh.
Disgusting. Sometimes the container come off and be hanging out the side of it. Now you got to get somebody out, drag it off. It's a fucking nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the other truck, the truck you drove more had a cycler in the back that was just you throw them in.
Yep.
Wow. Bag fed or something. What do they call it?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like hand fed. You just bag in, and then when it gets full, you can't fit no more. You bring it down, it swoops it into the truck, compacts it, and then you fill it again and rinse and repeat.
How has the industry changed over the time?
Well, now they actually just put out the city, I think this week, that they're trying to bring out where homeowners, I guess if you associations, like if you have a bunch of people, because there are certain areas that were loaded with mice and rats because they were just, near swamps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And house to house, you go to grab a pail and they're scattering.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to put these little dumpsters, but plastic, not the metal ones you see at like, the restaurants and stuff around town. And now they have things on the back to lift it. And my buddy just said New York just came out with them. And it's never going to work.
Right.
Bloomberg tried to go to the arm that lifts it on its own, and one guy's in the truck and never gets out and never touches anything. I have that in New Jersey now at my house. There's just not enough space. There's too many people in New York.
Right.
So like there's cars on top of cars.
Right.
So if there's no room for the garbage truck to get to the garbage.
Right. There's no room for the arm to get to the trash.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Homeowners across the 5 boroughs will soon have to shell out at least $50 for new trash bins as the Big Apple tries to crack down on rodents by standardizing garbage collections. Under new rules announced by Mayor Eric Adams Wednesday, single-family homes and small apartment buildings up to 10 units will have to purchase the new cans from an as-yet undetermined vendor in an effort to modernize the way the Big Apple collects its trash. Wow. Somebody's bidding on that contract, I bet, huh?
money, money, money.
Fuck.
It's crazy how much money there is.
In garbage.
Oh,
Nobody thinks of it.
nope. Because you're forgotten. Nobody realizes it. But like that, like somebody's going to make those pails now.
Yeah.
90% of the time, it's guys that were retired, big chiefs that are on from the job. They go out and start these businesses because they had the bright idea when they were on the job, but they said, let me bring it out when I retire.
Right.
And then, oh, I know, let's bring it in.
Damn.
I mean, they DOT. Well, not DOT. They pick up derelict vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Sanitation does that too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, any vehicles that are, the foremen have to go out, tag them, write whatever date if the car's not gone off the street with like no plates and stuff.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
street.
definitely.
They send tow trucks out. They take them too.
Have you ever had to be involved in that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't deal with that.
But you've had to be involved with salting the roads or ever? Anything?
Salt in the roads, front end loaders, big like rubber tire machines. Used to have to fill the spreaders, and then I would have to drive down certain blocks where you couldn't get like bigger spreaders. I would have to do dead ends with that. So you like take a bucket, back up a street, take a bucket, back up, pile it up back there. Like in the bad storms, you would get like a dump truck with you, and you would load the dump truck, and then they would like dump it all somewhere in town, like near the water and whatever.
All the salt?
No, all the snow.
Oh,
The snow on the bad storms, when the snow was so bad, when they would clean schools and dead ends and stuff like that, you would have to go around with the front end loader. I would have 2 dump trucks with me, and I would load the dump trucks filled with snow.
Okay, so we were talking about snow. I thought you were talking about spreading salt.
Well, it's the same kind of thing, but the spreaders couldn't fit down some of these blocks
Okay, so instead of getting the spreader, they go and actually try and pick the snow up.
with a front end loader.
Wow.
We call them big rubber tire machines,
Damn.
So I did that for pretty much the whole career, 18 years. I was doing that in the winters.
Oh, so you do that in the winter and then trash in the spring?
No, it's just when it comes up, you go.
Oh, right.
You do it. But that was the fun part.
That was
driving
fun.
the front end loaders.
Yeah?
That was good times, man.
Oh, that's cool.
One
Because
of-
you didn't have to get out that much, huh?
No, and you were like saving people. That's when people loved you.
Ah.
'Cause, dude, there were areas where you couldn't get down. Like spreaders would slide off the road. Yeah, we would have to go wrecker, drag them off of cliffs. Like it was crazy.
And then
the
you
winters
show up.
were nuts.
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
were like, all right, get a machine up there. And it was like the hills are like this, bro.
Wow.
And I had this boss who always, where's Owen? They're
Oh,
like,
he'd
what do
send
you
you
mean?
in?
They would all last names on the job. They'd be
Yeah.
like, where's Owen? Get him on the horn. Let's go. Get him in here. Because he knew. I would just tell everybody, stay away. Because everybody's out there shoveling, throwing more snow into the street, making it more of a mess.
Yeah.
And he knew, like, hey, I'm going to buckle up and here we go.
Let's send the hitman in.
Let's see
You
what
get
happens.
it done?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What type of attitude does someone have to have, or what skill set does someone have to have, or who would best be able to be a garbage man, a sanitation worker?
Oh, listen, it's about the community. When it all comes down to it. I still took pride in, like, especially those days with, knowing that my mother had to drive, my family, people, friends have to drive on those roads during the winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there were guys that would hide, and not spread salt. But like me, I was out there 12 hours spreading salt. I had no problem with it. So it is a sense of pride that, you work for the city. But in the same sense, there's not I had a girl tell me once on the job, she's like, you were like born for this job. And I didn't know how to take it. Like I was a little taken back. Like, is it a good thing that she's saying that? Or like, am I a piece of shit? Like, I was just like, I was thrown away. I'm really thrown off. Like, I'm just like, hey, thanks.
Yeah.
Like I had nothing to say. And she was cool as shit. She was awesome. But because we had girls that did the job too.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And some of them, I'd rather work with some of them than some of the other guys.
Really?
Yeah. There were women out there that were, hustlers.
Oh, yeah.
And then there were guys that, you always thought you would go to you come work with me, all jacked up. Yeah, no, he just doing that for the girls.
Really?
Help me, I can't lift this.
Trying to meet the women on the
Yeah,
job?
they're going to the gym all day pumping iron, but they can't lift, 100-pound couch. They used to swing couches in one shot.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know?
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think it's like in some cultures that's like a wedding ritual or something. A man and a woman throwing I don't know what it is. Was there a lot of intermingling on the job or something, you think?
There was some.
Yeah,
There was some out there.
boy.
I never partake in that.
A lot of ladies trying to put that dumpster on you, huh?
Well, you got two pensions,
Oh, yeah,
there were a few. I know.
Body dumpster, boy.
Yeah.
Throw it on me.
There were definitely a few. And listen, you look at it like I just said, you get two pensions, both of you retire.
Oh.
It's a good life,
Let's go to Florida and stay, huh? What, yeah, did people, was there ever a couple that met on the job and ended up getting married?
Yeah. Wow. Retired. One wound up being a boss. His wife might have became a boss, but yeah, listen, it happened.
Love happens everywhere.
Yeah, you're together a long time. You're out in the streets all day, and some guys and girls hit it off. So,
what are some other things people would collect out there in the trash? Anybody find anything really unique over the years? Any bone structure or anything like that?
Listen, you'd find all kinds of stuff if you were looking. Like I said,
you didn't look though.
I didn't have time for it. Like I said, I was running. I want to get done. I want to be out of the street.
Right.
I don't want to deal with people. Like I said, the people that don't pay attention to you, they drive into you.
Right. It's just risky.
Hot, crabby days. But this one time, I'm with my buddy, Louie, and we're picking up this apartment building.
Yeah.
And we open the gates, and there's, I think it was 6 or 7 Joker poker machines. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
Video poker?
Yeah, in the bars, they have those,
Yeah,
the
Mom
cheap,
used to use our allowance in them.
Yeah. And so I worked at bars when I was younger, and I knew, I'm like, oh, yeah, the money's stashed underneath. So we opened them up. There was nothing there. But I'm like, you know what? I remember one of the bar owners having a trap door because sometimes the dollars, the $10 bills would just float in, and there was this little Tupperware in it, and it would float, and it'd fall perfect right down the slit. So when I saw that was still blocked off, we dragged them back to the garage. We beat the living piss out of these things with sledgehammers. My boss walks in, he's like, I'm not even going to ask what's up. Right? Dude, we got $360 a piece, $720. Dude, and they were the finest $10 and $20 1980 bills.
Oh, yeah.
They were right out the machine.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, yeah, that was one of my better ones. But listen, you find things here and there.
Yeah.
I always found something that, somebody was throwing out and I didn't have to dig. It was next to the curb. I found a moped once in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah.
On the side of right on the side of a basket, the corner basket there. And it was probably from a Chinese restaurant, something like that. It was locked in to turn left. So who's going to just keep driving in a circle? Kids must have stole it and they realized, we can't use this. So they left it at the corner basket.
Right.
So I told my partner, I'm going to take this. And as we're putting it, like I said, there's a little trap door. As I'm putting it in there, the cops pull up. So we're like, and this guy I'm working with is like, damn, Owen, fuck me all up now. I'm going to get locked up for this shit.
Right. We're stealing a fucking.
Stealing a moped from somebody,
Yeah, from some Chinese kid over here.
Yeah, the guy's laying there holding bags. And so he's like, they just pulled up. They were like, yo, is it run? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to see. Brought that shit home. Broke the steering collar. And wound up getting it started. And I used to use it to go down to the bodega down the block and grab beers and shit.
Yeah.
So that was a good find.
Yeah, that's a good find.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I would I think I probably would like it. When I was young, I had to do the trash at the house, I didn't mind it. Just home sanitation or whatever. Get it out to the curb, But I was a kid, we never got to see the real artist pull up in the early morning, we was still asleep or something, or probably just getting up for school.
Well, kids love it too. They come out, they want to work the handles. Which
Yeah,
I
now
always
what
did for the
happened?
kids.
That was a fad for a while where a lot of moms would do the TikTok videos that a kid meets the garbage man.
Yeah.
Were you around for that?
Yeah, I had a few. And I would get the kids stuff, shirts and stuff. I would always give them back. I would have kids that stand at the glass door. The mother would hear us in the neighborhood, open the main door, and then there's a sliding, a screen door with glass, and the kids just used to sit there. And I loved it. You would get parents all the time. Like, oh, of all people, my daughter loves you guys, like little kids, you know? I don't know. Kids are fascinated with it. And it's awesome. But at the same time, it's like the parents will probably like, don't do that, you know?
Right.
Don't grow up to be a garbage man.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize the money in it,
Right.
you know?
But now more people are going to know it's a good business. It sounds like you got to keep a positive attitude, though, huh?
That's it. Listen, the day goes by so much easier if you just get through the work. You have a good partner, a good relationship with your partner. It's awesome. Listen, there's so many other shittier jobs. Like, I would take that over any city job in New York.
Really?
Yeah, like you got the firemen, you know, they're just wearing T-shirts trying to get free stuff.
Oh, yeah, and they're fucking, let's be honest, they're making shit. They're just eating Franks back in there.
Exactly, you know.
No judgment. I love these guys.
Yeah, no, 100%. My brother-in-laws, one's retired, one's still on.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends that do it. I just bust their chops all the time because they're always wearing a fire department T-shirt. I'm like, dude, you got no other clothes in your...
Yeah. Oh, they definitely, they're fucking, yeah. And then you light a fucking match and they're over there beating up a birthday cake just to fucking flex
Put
a
it
little.
out.
Yeah.
Fireman's here.
Yeah, somebody's got
But meanwhile, I laugh. I'll talk about my brother-in-laws quick, my wife's brothers. They'll come to my house and I got a fire pit in the yard. Dude, it's like they're trying to light my house on fire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, bro, what? Don't you put these out? Why are you starting this shit this big? Like and I got like a tin roof over it, metal's melting. I'm like, dude, what's the point of this?
Yeah. Your bird feeder, bro. You look in your bird feeder, you got a fucking grilled sparrow in
Yeah.
there.
It's like, dude, what are you trying to prove? Are you trying to put another fire out here? Do that on their time, not mine.
A lot of firemen are closeted
Pyromaniacs.
pyromaniacs, arsonists,
Yeah.
barn burners, whatever they're called, bro. Flame babies, whatever they call them, bro.
They're crazy.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of fucking kerosene mammals, bro. They don't give a fuck, dude. They'll fucking drink kerosene and then blow a fucking flamethrower. They don't give a fuck, dude, them guys.
And the cops, it's tough, man. I feel bad for New York cops.
Do you?
I got a lot of friends. You know, listen, there's bad apples all over this. I don't care what industry you're in.
Mm-hmm.
People are idiots. The way they act, the way they, you know, treat people.
Yeah.
But just, it's just crazy how they treat New York cops. Like when I was growing up, you respected the cops.
Yeah.
That was it. You shit on the garbage man, you respect the cops.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I just don't get it. So those are two jobs I don't even want.
Yeah, I think the media's let a lot of that happen, you know? I think you have a lot of like the same types of folks doing a lot of crime that don't have any respect for police officers. I think you have a lot of kids raised with no families, no parents that don't have any respect for anybody. So, and the people that were supposed to be in their, you know, authority is, they in fact hate authority because they never had any. So it's like the second they see a cop, you know, yeah, it's heartbreaking, dude.
Yeah,
what a lot of those guys go through. Do you have a relationship with police, fire, the other like municipalities? Is that what it's
of
called?
Course.
No, what's it called?
Yeah, civil service.
Yeah, the civil service.
Yeah, of course. You know, they always call up. They got to throw stuff out. You know, during the winters, you know, the police department was always like, you had to go do the police department. And that was like even the ferry in Staten Island. You had to go hit that with the plows and everything, get all that spread, you know, salt spreaded down. You know, I would always go to the fire departments, you know.
So you take a spreader onto a ferry?
No, it's like the ramps to get on the ferry. So like where all the buses come in.
Yeah.
You know, that you have to hit all those ramps. And I mean, it's nonstop. It's like one truck does that all day. Goes up and down the main road and then comes back and hits all those bays to make sure that all the buses, you know, I had this bus, you know, back into me once. I'm like, dude, you didn't see this big truck? Like I got blinking lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my 5th day on the job. I felt bad for the kid. He probably got fired. I did feel bad for him, but they drove right into the plow. I'm like, oh, man. But yeah, you respected each other, you know, and, you know, I got pulled over a few times here and there, you know, for stupid shit, like tint in my windows and stuff like that. Oh, all right, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Basic Asian crimes, really, I call those.
Yeah.
Every time I get stopped for that. What type of ethnicity is a garbage man? A lot of times we had black and white men mostly. Is it every ethnicity? Or
Every.
It is.
Every.
So it's a real universal job.
Yeah. We had the most diverse in the city.
Wow.
That's the most diverse city job. And it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Met a lot of cool people, huh?
A lot of cool people. A lot of fun people. A lot of guys I still talk to.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I think there is something about the camaraderie. What was it like when you got back to like the the house or whenever you know, was there a what was that like? Was there a shop or something? Where would you guys all get back to and hang out? Was there like a bunk house?
Yeah, you always had like an area where, you know, you would have couches, you know, which there was like rules like, oh, don't sit on it in your city uniform, like nasty. But, you know, people always did.
Did they?
It's gross.
Nah, people would go do the trash route and then come and sit.
Yeah, and then come and lay down on the couch. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
That makes me
people,
so sad.
And then you listen, you know, even the bathrooms in some of these places. Like I always wanted to do like a study and go to guys' houses and see how they react, like how they are around their families. Because I'm like, if you do this here and you don't clean up after yourself, like, you know, what do you do home?
Yeah.
Like, does your wife wipe your ass? Like, what? I don't get it.
Ugh.
You know?
The wife's probably glad they're not at home.
Oh.
Anybody ever have a wife that killed them while they were on the job that you knew? Anybody else?
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
A lot of divorces. They used to say it's cheaper to keep them.
Really?
That was the going saying. Like, oh, you get married, it's cheaper to keep them.
Yeah.
Guys coming in with like paychecks for $1.99. Like, because that's how many, you
Baby
know,
mamas
kids
they had and everything.
Yep.
Oh. Do you guys compete against other civil service groups? Like, is there like a volleyball squad or anything?
No, we used to do like a softball thing within, like on Staten Island. There's 3 garages. We used to do that for a few years, but nothing like, you know, other than that.
Yeah. What does your son want to be a garbage man when he grows up?
No. Believe it or not, my oldest doesn't even remember me being a garbage man.
Really?
I used to bring the truck. I used to bring that, but he was young, you know. And now we're in. I think I want to say I left Staten Island 6 years ago, so he was 4. So he's still young, you know.
So you had 20 years of service, man. You got it done. You look so young. I mean, you had 20 years of service. You got in and got out.
Retired at 41.
Wow.
Started my own, you know, construction. I do bathrooms, kitchens, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then my back went out.
Oh.
So I've been on the shelf for right now, getting back in the game.
Are you on pain pills or not?
No.
Good.
I don't mess with that shit.
Amen, brother.
No, I went on the medical marijuana for a while.
Yeah,
just to take gummies.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You got to piss too?
Yeah, I'm almost.
All right, let's go all piss, then we'll come back up and finish up. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, what does the retirement look like? What does a retirement look like? So you get, do they give you like a watch or a jacket? Is it like a big thing? You get a pension.
You don't get nothing from them. You get the pension.
You get a pension.
Pension, health benefits.
Okay.
All paid
For life.
for your family until you're gone.
Wow, dude, that's incredible. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of value there.
Yeah, everybody like passes that over. You know, when guys are like, "Oh, I got to stay on the job. I got to do 25 because my pension's only this now." But they don't realize how expensive insurance is.
Yeah.
You know, at least $2,000 for 4 people.
Yeah.
Me, my wife, my kids.
Yeah.
So you know, like you said, it's money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's more. People pay as much to insure themselves. You know, it's some people's more than their mortgage than their rent.
Yeah.
So you get that, you're done. What do? You're 41 years old. You just retired from a job. Pretty incredible. What makes you decide to go into like home construction and stuff like that?
I grew up around it. My
did?
father owned a hardware store growing up. you
Really?
know, yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
So I had every tool in the shed. I had everything. You know, and 5, 6 years old, I was using saws.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't have no safety shit on it back then.
Oh,
My
yeah.
mother
Somebody
would
breaks in your
scream.
home, you fucking skill saw them.
My mother would scream,
Yeah.
"Get away from that!" Because my father was at work. So I was 8 years old. I was building a tree house.
Yeah, of course, bro.
My wife's like, me and my mother, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just building a tree house."
You're like, this treehouse ain't gonna build itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kicked a step, slit my head open. That was the end of the tree house.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I just love working like with woodwork and, you know, all that stuff.
Is your father still alive?
He is.
Oh, wow.
Still doing it. Great dude. I'll never, you know. But, you know, then he went into different things. You know, he became a court runner as well. He used to run around for a law firm. You know, he did that. And then, you know, and he started working with me. That was about 3 weeks. Couldn't take that shit no more. So he's still doing it, home improvements. He's actually doing a bathroom right now.
Oh, amen.
I'm like, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But
He likes to work, though.
yeah, he always is. Always, you get enjoyment out of it. You know, when I do kitchens and bathrooms for people, you feel it. You feel more, you know, just the wow and oh my God, you could do this. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's something that's missing from my job too. A lot of times is that physical feeling of completing something, you know, that construction, the building.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely something inside of us that wants to build or complete something. I think for a lot of us anyway. Yeah, my mother loves to work. I'm always like, Mom, can I help you out? Can I do this? She's like, you know, I need to get a new van so I can keep doing my deliveries, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, you want somebody to be happy, you know, you want them to do what they want. Yeah, there's always that thing, you don't want to end up being a garbage man, you know. Yeah. Did that ever make you feel bad? You didn't think anything about it? Was there any?
Oh, listen, everybody, you know, would say, oh, you're a garbage man, this and that. And like I said, always look down. But listen, I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I was making good money.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
And your job sounds, honestly, it sounds fun.
Dude, it was awesome. Dude, I didn't even get into craziness, but it really was. It's like you're on your own. It's you, your partner, the garbage truck. You just pick up garbage. They give you a route. Here's the blocks. It's a blast.
Yeah.
And it's all, dude, I used to clip on like a speaker. 6 a.m, you hear me coming down the block. That shit's blasting dance music, rap music.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, like bumping, picking garbage up, having fun. I never like bothered me once. There are people on the job that hate it.
Really?
Yeah, like that, you know, oh, I don't tell people about this. It's like, you know, I didn't
it's
care.
not HPV, dude.
Yeah.
It's
I'm like,
a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it. But yeah, I loved it. We got into a real quick story. But my buddies come flying up a one-way.
Mm-hmm.
And now me and my buddy Louie, we're pointing down a one-way. They come flying up the wrong way. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I said, oh, maybe they're coming to help us. Because you used to do that all the time on the job. Mm-hmm. You would call out to friends, hey, listen, my route's heavy today.
Right.
Like, can you come and grab this block? Yeah, no problem. You always help each other out. Dude, all of a sudden, they jump out the truck. They start whipping us with eggs. It was like around Halloween. It might have been Halloween.
Right.
So they're chucking eggs, all over the truck.
Oh,
I'm
the other
running.
truck?
Yeah, like they're throwing eggs at us.
Yeah.
And me and my buddy Louie, actually I'm throwing garbage and Louie goes running by me. I'm like, where'd you go? And then eggs start flying over my head. So now we fly up the block. They back out. They drive away, right? So now you always have blocks that intertwine.
Yeah.
So they go the main street. We go to the store, get 2 dozen eggs.
Yeah.
We go all these shortcuts, cutting every light off. We block, we just ran. We waited for them where we knew they were going to go. And now regular Earth is happening. Yeah. Like people are out there's a food store right there. Yeah. There's people walking the streets, everything. Dude, we're hiding behind cars. And they pull up and get stuck at the light. Dude, we whipping.
Oh, yeah.
Bah, bah, bah. They were covered head to toe. They couldn't get out. They were blocked in by cars where we had the chance to run. We had to go back to my mother's house and wash the inside of the cabs out. Oh. That's how bad it was.
Like Hagenau. That's crazy, man.
But no.
Oh, that's fun, yeah.
Nobody's even paying attention to you.
That's fucking fun, dude. Oh, that's cool. And could you listen to music in the vehicle or there's no music in there?
Yeah, no, you would bring radios in on your own. You would get like a radio or boom box or something like that. But you listen to what you wanted to. You know, country music was my thing, later in my role.
Yeah.
And when I first started, I used to get yelled at in one area because the music was too loud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we would pump it. Listen, you got to make the best of your day.
Oh, I think so too. Music helps everything for sure.
Yep.
What's good and bad about the unions? Like about unions? What is that whole setup like? Can you talk about it? If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
because you're in the union, right?
Well, no, because now the city pays me. I'm not really in the union anymore. Okay. I'm done. It's not like...
Because I don't understand unions fully. So maybe, do you even have any explanation to me about what union... Because you were part of a union, right?
Yeah, yes, I was.
Okay. So how does that even... For some jobs, you have to be in a union to have the job?
Yeah, certain businesses run under union standards. Okay. Which means you have to pay dues. And, whatever it is, monthly. You pay dues and you stay in good standard within the union. Now, and then you get into like iron workers and all that. Those unions are totally different. Okay. Because those unions are paying those guys pensions.
Okay.
To me, when I worked for New York, yes, we ran for a union. Like there's a different union for us, the fire department, the police department. Everybody has their own union. But once I'm done, I'm out of that union, and now the city just sends my checks.
Okay.
Like I have nothing to do with the union anymore.
Okay.
I don't go to meetings. I don't, picket line. I don't do all that nonsense no more.
Did you guys ever have to strike?
We couldn't. We were signed under the Taylor law.
Okay.
So the Taylor law, you can't strike. If you could lose. That's the one way you could lose your job. You couldn't. It was crazy, dude. The job, you could never lose the job.
God.
I'm dead honest. Literally, I knew guys that killed people that worked on the job.
Yeah.
They went to prison. Their pensions are still waiting for them.
Amen.
When they come out. But the thing is, if you were dirty, if you came up on drugs and stuff in an accident and somebody got hurt, that's probably the only way you can lose your job.
I see.
So, but the unions, it's tough. Listen, they're great. It's just, it's expensive.
Yeah. What type of injuries happen on the job to guys?
A lot. Like I said, I had my left knee meniscus surgery, my right rotator, my left clavicle. Like I busted up, and it's just from swinging bags.
Really?
Yeah. And then my back, of course, was just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah.
Once I stopped running around the streets picking garbage up, and now I'm doing my side. Well, not my side, but I was doing kitchens and bathrooms at my speed, not running 4 miles every day. My back just locked up on me. So I had to go in the knife.
Was it hard to adjust whenever you retired?
Retirement, everybody, I'm going to retire. It's not worth it. That's why I'm going to start working again.
Back in the trash?
No.
Sanitation?
No, I'm actually looking now just to get into something simple, nothing crazy. I'm not one of those, I need a big high paying, just something basic.
Yeah.
I just want to stay busy.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly, dude, it's not healthy. When you're sitting around. Yeah, you're just sitting around.
It's good for 2 or 3 days, and then you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I'll give it like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But then you're like, now what? And I do my
lawn. Your
lawn.
neighbors, you're taking a cat for a walk or something. You're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Exactly.
Yeah. You're fucking selling lemonade in your driveway. It's fucking getting sad.
Nickel a piece.
Yeah, you're out there selling lemonade during the fight from 1 to 2 p.m.
No, my wife thinks I'm crazy because I take my lawn very seriously.
Oh, yeah. Bro,
what
that's
am I
the
going
first
to
thing
do?
a guy who's retired does.
My lawn's fucking this. I need more water. I need more this. I need this. Oh, you're crazy. But what else am I going to do?
Where'd you meet your wife? Did you have her before you had the job?
No. Oh, no. I was on the job, I think, 5 years.
Wow.
When I met my wife. Just a bar scene. I would bring something up, but she would kill me if I told you. Well, I'll tell you, but you can't play it on the sign. You can't play it.
Okay, I promise.
Met her there, hello, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started seeing her around the bars. My buddy.
And were you partying back then or no?
I was partying.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's me.
It was ugly.
Oh, bro, you find me in just a neighborhood fucking house party.
It was
snorting stacker twos and fucking holding up a wall.
But see, that's the old, like Staten Island. Like I said, we were in bars 15, 16 years old, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So like it started getting boring at 21, 22.
Yeah.
But she was in college on Staten Island. She went to Wagner College, and she was always in the bars. Mm-hmm. My buddy, God rest his soul, didn't do so well with that partying end. And he was dating her friend.
Mm.
So she was like, oh, you got to date Wayne. You got to date Wayne. Whatever, we
like,
finally.
Fuck, I'm Wayne.
Yeah, I'm Wayne. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. Yeah. And then we just hit it off. We started, bullshitting. She would tell people, she'd probably still tell you today, like, oh, he was following me around. I'm like,
you probably were.
No, but I'm 5 years older than you.
Right.
I've been in these bars for 10 years longer than you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that these are my bars.
Right.
This
and
is my stomping grounds.
I think when you're tall, people can always see you wherever you are.
I'm always above.
Right. So people are always like, oh, that guy's following me. Like, I'm not following you. I'm just fucking over here.
Yeah. It's like, that's the shitty part about being tall. Yeah. Right. That's a good point.
But now, when did you tell your wife that you were working as a garbage man or sanitation worker? Did you have to sit her down and tell her?
Oh, no. She knew.
Okay.
Yeah. She pretty much knew. Listen,
but she must have. It sounds such like for somebody to be able to get up that much, go do that job. I think there's a ton of admiration in it. Probably you probably have to start to admire, like, this fucking guy gets his work done.
Well, it's not easy in the sense that, like you say, it's you have to, it's a commitment for 20 years or more. I know guys 25, 30 years. But it's more of like you wake up and all you hear is downpouring. You still got to go. So it is. And like, I never wanted a pat on the back. Like, screw that, you know? It was just more of knowing like how your day's going to go from the minute you wake up hearing pouring rain or, you know, it's going to snow today. All right, well, I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock at night. And you're leaving at 6 in the morning. I wouldn't get home 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So there was, and listen, it was good money. I think her family knew, like, oh yeah, I'm dating this guy who works for sanitation. Oh, that's a great job. Like, it's a city job. Like, it's known.
Right.
But
yeah, you don't know that. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm so happy to learn is like, you don't know that there's, you can make good money. You don't know that there's a pension in it. You don't know that you can fucking have a good time. You don't know that you get over the smell. So you don't even notice it anymore, huh?
No.
Wow.
Don't even notice it. And I could pick it out anywhere. Like,
could you smell different types of trash from certain amounts of feet away?
You know what it is? The maggot smell, like I was saying, is the killer. You know, and there are some times I have a backyard, you know, that we eat outside, we throw the garbage in. I don't throw it out right away. It's like in a bag, in a pail. Dude, maggots will start crawling out of the pail.
Maggots are gross, huh?
Oh,
I hate
awful.
them.
Dude,
I hate maggots.
I used to be walking around there all in my arms. Like, they would come out of the truck, splat on your arm, like nasty. I'd be like blowing them off your arm while you're on the back of the truck. It's part of the job.
Was there like a wave of trash water that would come out on the cycle? Like, dude, I'm talking something Kelly Slater would flirt with, you know.
So this woman, and I knew her from the neighborhood. I went to school. Well, I didn't go to school with her daughter, but I knew her daughter from high school. I used to hang out with her and her friends. And she comes out. She's like, "Oh, Wayne, I can't lift this sofa," and it was in the driveway. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get it. Go back inside." Downpouring. So we throw the sofa in and we throw bags in. Now, she's right next to me, and I'm like, don't stand there. Go somewhere else. No. I want to get – she's trying to help give us something, you know, for taking this stuff.
Let me give you a couple muffins or something.
It cycles, dude, from head to toe. It was brown water. She literally had maggots, like, on her face. I was like, get in the house and go take a shower. She's like, what is all this? I was with her eyes closed. I'm like, just get in the fucking house. I told you don't stand here. You know,
that's the devil's backwash. I mean, you don't want that.
It just happened because we were uphill and the rainy days. Now you're lifting every pail that doesn't have a lid. Water's going in and it's just squashing around. It's like sewage. It's disgusting.
And all that water just is there a catch from the truck, or it all just goes onto the street usually?
No, well, we used to have drain pipes, but then they soldered, like they welded them all shut because like people would complain that trash was like coming out on the street. So you had to deal with it. Our thing was you wanted to find a mattress at that point. So you would throw the mattress in, squeeze it, and it would sop up all the water on the bad days.
So there's some strategies to the game.
Listen, just because we're garbage men, we ain't stupid.
Yeah. Of course not. Yeah. You know? I never think that those guys are dumb. I don't know what I think. I think it's just also the tough part about that job is if you're just like someone who lives somewhere, you don't get to go so quick. You know, it's tough to get time with them, you know? Like you don't, you know, like cops stay around and fucking, you know, tase you or whatever, bullshit with you. Or like in a neighborhood, when I was growing up, like some girl would always, you know, a cop would always be flirting with some lady or something, her husband's missing or whatever, and they probably did it, but they ain't telling nobody, and now they're over here flirting and fucking splitting, you know, cutting up donuts with a plastic knife on the hood of the fucking cruiser, you know, flirting with Miss Cheryl over here, who's always all, dude, this lady by us, we get all fucking liquored up. She'd be drinking daiquiris, and she'd start her car. She had this fucking like car that was like a hot rod or something. She'd start that bitch and then with these shorts and then lay on the fucking hood of it, dude, and fucking say like pervy shit out loud. Like, don't you miss me? She'd say, don't you miss me? And we didn't even fucking know her. Like, who the fuck is this lady, bitch? I'm 8. But we sit out there and watch her, bro. You know.
Yeah, listen, everybody has their thing.
But yeah, cops, you end up talking with them. You know, you know, there's some communication. But y'all's job, it's kind of just hit and run.
It's hit and run, and even the guys I have now, you know, like I give them $100 tip during Christmas. Listen, I did the job. Like I know it sucks. Right. The rainy days. Yeah, there's good days. There's a lot more good days than, you know, the rainy days. And once you get wet, you get wet. You're done. But like I have people now tell me, what do you mean you tipped them? I'm like, dude, these guys who pick my stuff up that's private, they're not making what I was making in the city, you know? And it's a lot, man. They're doing you a service, and they always say, everybody's always, you know, line was, oh, well, you know, that's their job. They have to pick it up. They got to take it. And I would tell people, this ain't my job. You know, I'm here to pick up your household garbage. I'm not here to take all your demo from your construction job on your house. And that was always where the fine line of like arguing, fighting with people. Like, I ain't going to fight with you. It's garbage. Like, why are we fighting over garbage?
Right.
Just get a dumpster, and I'm not picking this up.
Yeah.
Case settled, done.
Yeah, or if somebody tried to go to blows with you or something?
Yeah, a few times.
Women or men?
Well, the woman, it was a husband and wife, and they had bags of tile out. And the bags, and
Get the fuck out of here with that.
she was just an asshole, this woman. And literally the tile is sticking out the bag.
Oh,
So that's like razor blades, porcelain tile. I don't know if you've ever been cut by porcelain. It sucks. And
Never
she's
have.
like, oh, you're not going to take this?
Yeah.
It's your job. I said, listen, I'm not taking this shit. You can throw it in. Oh, fine. I'll throw it in. Yeah, look, big, strong guy, you know, sanitation worker can't throw it in, but I could. And she's rubbing it all up on her belly and shit. I'm like, good, look at you, you animal, you know? Turns out she's a nurse.
Oh, yeah,
why I'm
nursing a
not
fucking
fans of
biscuit
nurses.
all morning. That bitch is fucking out of her mind, bro. Sorry, that's kind of mean. I'm getting mean.
No, and she says, you know, and it was fucked up what she said. She was like, you know what? If you ever come into my hospital and you need help, you know, fuck you. I said, you know, and now, like I said, I'm not a blow my top. It's garbage. Well, I'm not going to fight with you. You want to throw it in, throw it in. I don't give a fuck. I said, you know what, bitch? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right to her face. And I fucking closed the hopper, and she still had 10, 15 bags left, and I fucking drove away. I told my partner to drive. My boss calls. He's like, what are you doing? I said, let me guess. The nurse called. He's like, I don't know who the nurse is, but this woman called. And, you know, she's calling. She got 311 on the line, this and that. And I'm like, dude, this is what she said to me. So I blew my lid and told her to go fuck herself.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, my boss calls. He's like, just let her throw the rest of the bags in. I'm like, I don't want to go back there. So we went back anyway.
Wow.
Because I just don't want to I don't want to fight on my other end. So I go back there. Now her burly 6'8" husband's there. And he gets in my face. Right? And I'm like, dude, you do not want to do this. I said, listen, I'm a garbage man. That's all fine and dandy, but you don't want to see what other part there is.
Yeah.
My old 67-year-old partner jumps out the truck, gets right in his face, starts pushing him.
No.
He's like, dude, you get the fuck back in the house. We'll throw this shit in. Get the fuck out of my partner's face.
Yeah.
I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. But you had that here and there.
Yeah.
People want to fight. It's garbage. What are we fighting over garbage for?
Yeah, so wild, man. It's interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I don't know or want to understand about the job. Oh, if you had boots on, how do you keep the water from getting into boots,
you
the
don't.
trash water?
Like I said, you had rain boots, but those were regular boots, but just been soaked since. And you just put them like on top of your locker, hope they dry by the next rainstorm. Because if not, wet boots suck. But what are you going to do? This one time, this guy goes, why are you running through the street? It was raining. I said, because I hate wet boots. I turn around. I'm like, I think I said something like, I hate wet boots. You know what? You know that feeling? I turned around. I didn't realize he was in a wheelchair. I'm like, this motherfucker probably can't even feel his legs. I'm like, damn it.
But he ain't got to worry about wet boots either.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like dodging. You tell people I'm dodging raindrops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But everything got wet.
Dodging raindrops. That's a good term. So your wife was good with it. What kind of line of work did she get into?
She was in medical sales, medical device sales. So like when you have surgeries and stuff, she sold all like the nuts and bolts and stuff for a company. But now she's doing it back again. She had went to just into sales for like smaller companies, but now she's back doing medical device.
Nice.
You know, she's always been a hard worker.
Yeah.
My wife, I'll give her a shout out, Wendy. She's always been a hard worker. You know, our kids are awesome, Parker and Jackson, with an X. Jackson with an X.
Yeah, like Jackson. Who's the starting quarterback for Ole Miss? Jackson Dart.
Is that with an X?
Is that Jaxon?
JXN. S-O-N.
Yeah, no, we left the S off.
Oh wow, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Jack's on.
You're like Elon Musk, dude.
Yeah. Wild and shit.
Okay,
Grown
so you got
people's
you a
butt.
family, then.
Parker and Jackson, yeah, my
Have you
boys.
enjoyed being a dad? Is it exciting?
Love it.
Yeah.
That's like the shitty part about now going back to work. You know, I love having my boys in the morning. Jackson, my 6-year-old's hysterical, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, from 5:30 on, bro. He does not stop. We joke with the 10-year-old. He joke all the time. We're like, dude, there's got to be an off button.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, dad. Like, do you see this? Dad, asking me questions like while I'm getting lunch ready for them and breakfast. And it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I don't mind any part of it. Like, I do anything for them, of course, because they're my kids. But like, that's going to be the hardest part of me, like missing now the mornings and then missing when they get home from school.
Yeah.
That's going to be, you know, if I start getting home later, that's going to be the shitty part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer. A lot of people have to deal with that, you know. I think it's just it's unfortunate that that's kind of how our society is, you know. I wonder if we're supposed to be like that or what, you know, like human beings are supposed to be like. You know, like, you know, you think about the old days of like when people probably lived around a campfire and everybody was fucking home, but you were living around a campfire too, you know? So I think there was probably interesting. Yeah, what would you say to somebody who's thinking like, could I be a sanitation worker?
More power to you.
Yeah.
Listen, like I said, it's a New York thing. If you live in the tri-state, you know, in New York, not tri-state, if you live in New York, it's like a known thing. Take all the tests. It's the best thing. I know a buddy of mine, his daughter came on. He waited long enough because his daughter did so good on the test that his daughter got on the job.
They got to work together?
So they got to work together. It was a big thing by the city. You know, they went out and then he retired like a week later. You know, so like, listen, you know, when you know what's coming of the job, you know how good it is, but you don't want to tell people.
Yeah.
We always said, don't tell nobody how good this job is.
And here you are.
And yeah, there are grueling, shitty parts about it, but the job was great, man.
Yeah.
Like I would never curse the job in that aspect of it.
Well, the fact that you had to win a lottery to even get a chance to take the job is freaking pretty unreal.
Well, now they don't do that no more. Now they allow all of them to take the test and take the, you know, and see how the lists are.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 120,000 people taking the test now. That shows you how much people want this. And like somebody called me, they're like, oh, yo, my nephew took the test. I'm like, all right, how'd he do? Oh, he's got a 93. I'm like, oh, what's his list number? 40,000.
Like he's done.
I'm like, dude, the job has to die 6 times over.
Yeah.
There's 6,000 guys on the job. So everyone has to go to work that day, die. The next day, 6,000, die. It's like, so does he really I said, if you got a 40, if you got that kind of number on that test, you should look for a different profession.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, that's
you're not it. What was it like during COVID doing trash? Do you remember?
I just retired.
Oh, you did? So you got to miss that.
The guys loved it.
They did?
They loved it. The money was crazy. These guys, I'm telling you, I know a guy moved to Florida, 90,000 a year, 95,000 a year is pension is. He's almost bringing 6 figures and retired.
How do you get your pension to be higher?
They take out of 5 years, they take your best 3 years and average it. So if this dude was doing, you know, 2, you know, now they add that in and the average is $100,000.
Wow.
You know, so that's what you get, half of it. So you get half of your base, you know, for 3 years. So this guy's got another buddy, you know, 80,000 for the year. That's what he's going to get every year, plus the benefits and all that. He'll get 80,000 a year.
How long does a pension last?
Until you die. But you could.
We got to get it.
But take the test. You got to get a New York address though.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do that. But I
yeah,
gave
they don't have
mine
to pay
up.
those taxes too.
Yeah, they crush you.
That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, that's part of it though. You build up your pension to, you know, get to a point where you'll leave. A lot of guys don't leave. Like I said earlier, like they don't make it to, you know, so, but you could also sign off. Like I could have given my wife like a percentage of my pension for the rest of her life. But it
Let's
just
see
didn't.
how she does.
Yeah, well, it's, you know.
A little
we'll
early
see.
for that, Wendy.
Yeah, I'm not going to
you know?
count her. Yeah,
Shit,
exactly.
Wendy, all
yeah.
right, hold on.
Wendy's good.
Yeah, Wendy will be fine. Now, what if you die like doing like in the line of service or whatever? Does your wife like get a flag or anything? Is there like a, yeah, what's that like?
They really don't. I mean, granted, it's a sad thing. They do a whole memorial thing, like they like line the streets with sanitation workers when they're bringing your casket, like any fireman or yeah. But it's nothing like I told you. They get, I think, 2 years of service, so 2 years of pay. So if they get 120,000, that's it. You don't get their retirement. No,
because you're gone.
Yeah. So if that's not in line and then you die, like if you're working, it's not the way it rolls.
Wow.
Yeah, I know a guy, unbelievable. They forced him to the clinic. We had this clinic at work where you would go and these quack doctors would tell you feel better. Then they're like, it's like they got the Jedi shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you feel good, go back to work if you were hurt. Mm-hmm. And they forced this guy to work and he fucking dropped dead on the Staten Island ferry.
Whoa.
Going to the clinic. I felt awful for his wife, and he was such a good dude.
Why? And who has those quack doctors? The city? Because they want you back on the
city.
They want you back on the job.
So I think the city, what they do is they look for guys that lost their private practices, like as doctors, and they hire them for pennies on the dollar.
So they hire those people then?
Yeah, and they're quack doctors.
Wow.
They suck.
Yeah.
Dude, I had my finger. I was picking up one night, and now you're running through the streets because it snowed. So now you're finally picking garbage up, and not a lot of people put garbage out after the snow. It's like they become like hermits and just stay in their house, so they don't have garbage to throw out. I grab a sewing machine, I throw it in the truck, and it still had a needle, so it fish hooked my thumb. Ooh. So my whole thumb like flapped over this way, blood pouring down my arm. So I go have stitches. I literally still had the stitches in my finger, and they're like, "Oh, you could go back to work."
Wow. So
you have to kind of threaten them, like, "All right, cool, put your name here, because when I get gangrene from work, you could do desk work in the garage." I'm like, "Dude, it's the dirtiest place on earth. A garage and a sanitation, garage. It's gross." So the desks, and it's just filthy. Nobody cleans them. Oh. So until you threaten them with like, "Oh, I'll get a lawyer, I'll sue your ass." Oh, all right, take another few days off.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
That's crazy. Huh?
Yeah.
You have to fucking threaten to sue doctors who are just trying to get you back out there. You can't even take care of yourself. But then you have the other side of the coin where guys will try to sit out for 7 years. Because they got they got a hip flex or whatever.
So I had a guy, he had like his cut that he would go outside the building and scrape it against the building outside and just go back in and get another 3 days. Still bleeding, doc. Okay, take another 3 days.
Damn.
It's like, dude. But then it sucks because there's guys that are fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they threatened my job once when I really hurt my back. I had my shoulder done and they were like, "Oh, we're going to force you off the job." Because I was on light duty and shit for like 18 months. Wow. And it's like, you're going to force me off the job. Like, I'm in year 16. Like, what? They didn't give a fuck. You're a number. That's it.
Could any handicapped people do your job? Could people in a wheelchair be a garbage man or no?
Not a wheelchair per se, but I think there was some handicapped motherfuckers on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they...
Well, a lot of autism people do the job too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You know?
Listen, autism, it's nothing to, laugh about, joke about. Both my kids are on the spectrum.
Oh, yeah. We're on it.
But they're awesome. I was probably on it. Yeah, like you said, they didn't test for that shit back in the day.
Fuck no, dude. We were just on it.
Well, that's what they were like. When we grew up, they were like, "Oh, he's either shy. Yeah. Oh, he's shy. Or, oh, he's fucking crazy." Like, you were either one or the other. Yeah. They never said like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be an astronaut." Like, like he's real smart. No, he's shy, sits in the corner. The other kid's hopping off the walls. And that's what it was. Yeah,
you just hope that you had something in the middle, probably.
Exactly.
Or at least that God gave you one of each. To balance each
all your
out.
ADHDs, elemental Ps, all that shit.
Oh, now you got a fucking kid. Yeah, you don't even know, dude. It's fucking unreal these days.
The letters they come up with, it's almost like the other group.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. How many more letters are you gonna, it's just everybody
when is it
gets
in?
It's
everything, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. I agree. Like you got a guy who's got fucking DHD, REB, RESPECTBQ. Yeah. I'm like, what? You're a fucking, just say you're a gay Beyonce fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? It's just shit. Everything's fucking crazy now, man. Dude,
it's nuts, man.
Yeah, look at this. This is the term now. LGBTQQIP2SAA up, down, select, start.
So you're a Contra fan.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. They got a bat flying around in here.
Oh yeah, bro. That's free bats, dude, from the city. That's our pension, bro. Also, it's getting close to Halloween.
Yeah, so they're flying around.
So we let them
They
in.
got it.
What was it like? What were some of the holidays like? Though, what was the holiday? Was there a holiday, or was there a day of the year when you got the most trash?
After any holidays. So
Okay.
like, because you would skip the pickups.
I see.
So like Christmas, if we were off, they would pick up the next night.
Okay.
And we used to have to go in 12 to 8 to go pick it up. And honestly, they would steal garbage. Like my first year on the job, I never realized that guys stole garbage.
Wow.
So because on those days, you just had to load the truck as fast as you wanted to, as you can, and then you were done for the night.
Okay.
So dudes would literally, it was like smoke coming out of the tires. Take off out of the garage, go throw hustle, get as much garbage as you can, and then just to be done. You load all, top off your truck, you're done for the day. And you're stealing garbage. Then you pull up, like now I don't know anything. I pull up and it's all gone. I'm like, oh, some nice person took all my garbage.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh yeah, now you have to go do more house to house stuff because they took all your big, heavy sausage bags. So now you got to literally look for garbage.
Oh.
It's like hide and seek for garbage and shit.
Wow. But it was just get as much as you could, fill your truck up, you're done.
Yeah, and that was during the holidays.
Right.
I did Y2K. That was a disaster.
Yeah. What was Y2K like for a garbage man?
I had 3 months on the job. They loaded us. They were like, oh, everybody go to this garage, Manhattan 7 on the west side. So I'm like, all right, cool, near Times Square. Oh, we'll be out there for Times Square. It's going to be awesome. I was so happy I signed up. And then I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, yeah, I'm just hanging out here with you guys. Happy New Year. Because they didn't send us out there till like almost 1:30.
Because they didn't know if the world was going to end?
Well, not even that. They just let everybody like leave now Times Square. Then we come in and clean up.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time we got out there, dude, that was the first time I thought like, wow, people really do like us. Like chicks wanted pictures with us, like with brooms. Like people taking pictures with chicks drunk and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
They're banging on the windows of the big bus that we come in. Like, oh yeah, sanitation's here. Meanwhile, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I thought I was going to be in Times Square, ball drop, sick. Nah, now I'm coming in cleaning up piss bottles and shit on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a fun day. Yeah, Sandy, when that storm hit.
Hurricane Sandy?
Ooh, that was a nasty one. That was another, that we were going down there and helping people. Now their whole lawns, their whole front, their houses were covered, the lawns. They were bringing everything out.
Right.
Couches, clothes. I felt bad for these
Living
people.
room. Their whole living room sitting on the curb. Wow.
Everything. So we would do our regular routes and then run over there and help the people and like hand pick the garbage up. So one day I told my boss, I'm like, dude, you're not down there. I'm down there. This is useless. Like there's piles of garbage. We need the big machines.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, listen. They agreed to it. So I convoyed 7 front-end loaders down there. Dude, the first block I turn on, I almost cried. Like that's how you feel for people. Like piles of shit, man. Their stuff, their whole house is on the fucking lawn.
Yeah.
And we're just coming in to fucking throw it away.
Oh.
So
you're a service, but even the service
you feel
providing
bad.
is kind of painful.
Yeah, it was shitty. And but you get knuckleheads in New York like, oh yeah, the storm surge was coming. And they're like, oh, let's go see the waves. Yeah, cool. Dude, there were $100,000 cars littered all over the street. With the windows down, that's how you knew they got caught. Because there's this thing in cars now, when it gets water damage, the windows go down automatically, so somebody can't get caught in like water or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
make everything easy on people.
Keys were in them, everything.
Fuck.
Like the key fobs. So this guy I knew, he said, do you have a chain on the front end loader? I'm like, yeah. So I had to hook trains up to like brand new fucking Audis, Mercedes, and drag them to clear the streets. Boats in the middle of the road. It was like playing with Tonka, bro. It was awesome. But I did feel bad in the sense of...
Right, you still got to do all that, but still, it was like, it must have felt like another universe.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, I'm dragging $100,000 cars around by a chain. Hook them up to the tires. The wheels are screeching.
What about during 9/11? What was that like?
That sucked. That was shitty. I didn't lose anybody, but it was crazy because my sisters all worked in the city, and we couldn't get in touch with them.
Oh.
So I had just gotten home from work, and I just worked 12 to 8, and my buddy calls me, and he's like, dude, this fucking idiot just, flew into the Trade Center. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I just got out of the shower. Like, I'm just going, I want to go to bed. I'm working 12 to 8. It's crazy, So next thing you know, another one comes. My father calls me. Never heard the guy cry in his life. And my buddy at the time had a boat. He's like, get that motherfucking boat and put it in the water. He wanted to go get his daughters. And it was fucked up. The towns were crazy. They were fucking going after like all these Indian guys and all. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Wow.
And I was supposed to go down there with a big machine, and somebody, you could say, stole it. One of my buddies jumped in the truck and fucking took the truck. And he actually, when he got back, he goes, dude, I helped you out. He goes, that was the most awful fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Because we went right away, and there was still bodies laying around, like parts, and you know, a lot of those guys wound up with issues, man. You know, with all kinds of breathing issues and all kinds of shit. So it was shitty in New York at that point.
Yeah, because did you guys have to do some of the cleanup or no?
We did some of it. We did hands-on stuff. Like, they didn't bring any machines in until a long time because they were still looking for people.
Yeah.
And we ran out of the landfill. They put these big tents up, domes, and they were bringing material from there. And dude, they were finding like a tooth.
Yeah.
And like claiming people because there was so many people missing. And I knew a few people like from the bar scene and family friends that, you know, passed away, and it sucks. It's just shitty.
Yeah, and there was never really any retribution, I felt like, in a weird way also by America, you know? Not that there needs to be, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But it was always like they never exactly pinpoint, you know, it's almost like they never even gave solace in that sense.
No, yeah, it's, you know.
It was like a lot of people thought like that Saudi Arabia was responsible, but there was, you know, they kind of loosely blamed it on kind of fucking Hussein.
Saddam.
Yeah,
You get them all mixed up now. It's like, who's next?
I know.
It's so shitty, you know.
But they loosely kind of blamed it on him and maybe he did do it. They just didn't tell it. You know, it's like, man, that was so fucking weird to leave America kind of hanging out to dry like that too, in a weird way. Like,
yeah.
Well, who the fuck did this? You're telling me you don't know. Yeah, you know
somebody's got to know something.
You know the 22 people that were involved in it. Who the fuck did it?
And there's so many crazy things, like new shit coming out, like all this with all these documents with it, you know. And I really, even when it comes on, I can't even watch the shit anymore because I was there, like saw the dust, like from Staten Island, you know, saw all the dust and the smoke and stuff. But it's crazy now that they just keep digging up stuff. Now they have new views of where the planes went in, like people coming up with these new camera angles. These trade center buildings, like nothing hit them, 7, like the smaller ones. How did it collapse? And now you're hearing this old conspiracy theory that it was worth, I forgot who was, the guy who owned it, like owed so much money or something, and it was all being put through at that location also in Washington, D.C., where they hit the plane there too. There's so many theories out there, man. And it's just shitty because you did that. You could have dropped the planes at night.
Right.
Told everybody, yo, fire alarm, let everybody run if that was the deal. Why'd you kill people? But that's people. Because now that's everybody's focus is on that.
Yeah.
It's not so much that why did these buildings just collapse out of nowhere? Oh, did so-and-so owe money on it and this was his way out?
Yeah, you don't have, I mean, there's some people that's so dirty, you know, and some guy, who you could give a guy a couple $100, he'll fly a plane into something. Some dudes, you know. I know a crop duster that'll fucking, you know, that'll fucking zero in on your ex-wife's apartment, dude.
Yeah.
For probably $600 to $800. Yeah, bro, for sure. Wayne, I think we've probably learned everything that we can, man. It's really interesting. I wonder if it would be really different in different parts of America, you think, the job, or do you think it would probably be the same across the board?
No, I think it's definitely different because it's on a private, you know, end where those guys are making. I work for a private. I think I was making $100 a day, but I got it down to 2-3 hours, so whatever. I was making $30-something an hour.
Yeah.
I didn't care. But those guys don't make the money like New York. There's certain, I think, like just around me, like Newark or Elizabeth, like where they're heavy unions, they'll be unionized. But once you bring the privates in, if they're picking up your garbage, probably here and like near my house, they don't make that kind of money.
Yeah.
So it's a different animal. And they don't even use guys. Like I said, they use the arm that lifts the whole thing up, dumps it in the truck near my house.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different all over the country.
It's changing, man. So even automation is killing that industry, huh?
Yeah. You have places like New York, like I said, you can't.
Right. You can't.
There's just not enough
automate in there.
space.
Right. You're always gonna need somebody.
Yeah. There's just not enough space to get, to the garbage.
Do you guys have beef with any of the other like civil groups? Like, is any like DOT, cops, firemen? Is there any real fucking beef out in the streets, or it's kind of like?
I personally never had an issue.
Yeah.
Like I said my piece about the firemen. I'll probably get shit from my friends for that one.
Oh, it's funny, dude. But hey, look, bro.
It's all love.
Yeah,
they know
same.
it's true.
Yeah, same,
They know it's
same,
true.
Same, bro, same. Look, it's
crazy.
a lot of fucking calendar models out there, bro. It's a lot of dudes fucking eating hot dogs all day and then shooting up Ozempic, in a fucking.
So I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it once. That
Those dudes
I
are
wanted
gonna
to
be
do a
so
calendar
pissed.
of like the big guys on my job.
Yeah, where
'Cause
the-
there's some big fucking guys,
Yeah.
man.
Are there
We're
really?
like eating donuts.
But why? Wouldn't it be hard to beat a fucking garbage man if
Oh
you're big?
man, dude. Well, I just told you, you're sitting around eating all day. There's always cake. There's office guys, big dudes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, 400, 500, 600 pounds, bro.
Ooh.
And some of them still wiggle down the block. Others not so much.
Yeah.
Other, they all find that spot like, oh, I'm gonna go work with this guy, or I'm gonna go work with that guy, like in an office or something. And that's why it's like, yeah, you could say that's what gives us bad name of like, oh yeah, they're all just fat, ugly guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, there's a lot of guys on my job that don't really take care of themselves. They're lunatics with like health and stuff.
Oh,
But,
yeah. That's popular these days. Well, look, man, I'm grateful for your time, man. I feel like I learned a lot about the job. Before I forget, what about drugs? Did people ever find any drugs, you think?
No, we always used to look in the couches and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You hear stories
yeah.
of like bundles of coke, kilos and shit laying around.
I've hidden drugs in couches and never gotten it back.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't doubt it if they're out there.
Yeah.
But no, we never. That we used to say like, oh yeah, thanks for the tip, because change would always come out.
Oh, yeah.
Like nickels and dimes and quarters and shit. Yeah. But people have lost, like they drop like, oh, so-and-so. And that's another part of, like I said, with the Tyvek suits. So if you drop something real quick, if you drop something in the garbage, wedding rings, money, anything expensive, you drop in the garbage, you call the garage. Hey, I dropped on so-and-so block. I dropped something in the garbage. They'll call the truck out. Hey, stop picking garbage up. But you have to dig through it.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
You do or I do?
The owner.
The caller.
You want your ring back? No problem. At 5 o'clock tonight, they're going to bring that truck to a location on the landfill in an open area. They're going to dump it all on the floor and have fun looking.
Have you gotten to watch somebody look for something before?
I've seen like down below, because when we drop into a pit when we dump in Staten Island, and like there was one family doing it, I don't know if they ever found it, but
yeah,
they do
bring
find
your
it.
family with a bunch of fucking
Well, like
what is
husband
your
and
moat,
wife,
dude? Yeah, but
not
don't
kids.
fucking.
I said family,
If
meaning
you
like
drop
husband and
some
wife.
bullshit and you fucking checking your kid out of school to
Yeah.
help you find a
Need all the hands and eyes I could get.
Yeah, dude, that's unreal.
But no, I knew a woman. She dropped $700. She was going to the bank and she put the garbage out. The thing was in her hand and it fell in the pail and she got it back.
Wow,
She found it.
They should play music and do a live feed on that. I would bet people would pay to watch that, bro.
And speed it up to the
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, they do it. They let people do it.
Wayne, I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for your time, brother.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool. And I think that it's an admirable feat, and that some people can do it, and you can get in there and get out with a pension and then go on the rest of your life.
Yeah. Definitely well worth it.
Yeah. You heard it here first, guys. Thank you so much, Wayne. Have a good one, brother.
You too. Thank you, Theo.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone.